We are live. It is not Saturday night. It is Wednesday night, which means it's 40,000. Let me try that again. Warhammer 40,000, Rogue Trader, Tithes of Acheron, Segmentum the 6th. I've already forgotten the title for this. Damn it. Hold on. I need to pull my notes up. I usually have them ready right away, but I didn't today. They're there. This is Segmentum 6th, a Fist of Blackened Mail. And with me are, of course, my wonderful Grimdark players. Alterios, Warner, Darius, and Rev. Rev, unfortunately, has had some dental work done today and currently sounds like a doped-up chipmunk. So you're going to have to bear with him. That said, let's take a very quick moment, check in with people, see how things are going, what's new and exciting. We'll start with the doped-up chipmunk, Rev.
I only got kicked in the face by a horse.
I don't want to believe that because I know that's not true.
I mean, that's some kind of ghetto surgery, I guess.
Ghetto surgery, huh?
Yeah, ghetto dental surgery.
I think kicked in the face by a horse is more of a redneck dental service.
Yeah, that's definitely a method. Rev, what's new and exciting other than obviously your face is different today?
Well,
not that we could see that.
On a minor note, I found a new guy to deal me guns, and on a more major note, Cordyceps has now jumped over to a new species of spider, and they've never seen it in tarantulas this big before.
Cordyceps tarantulas. Resident Evil, eat your heart out.
Also, The Last of Us would like to know your location.
Also, I should probably quit doing this by now.
Yeah. Oh, so you're not actually a doped out chipmunk?
What?
I called it.
I had a feeling too.
Alterius definitely called it. The instant he heard it.
Anyway,
my face is still numb, but it doesn't transfer through to my voice.
Well, that's just Rev being the damn troll that he is. Of course. Darius, you're in transition of different things. Do we need to come back to you, or are you good to go ahead and give us a little bit of what's new and exciting for you other than what you put out last night?
Last night was pretty much it. My car was down. It's back up.
Your car's back up, you said? Sorry, I
think his audio cut out.
It did, or he muted himself accidentally.
Please don't let it interfere with Jim and my work.
Oh, we got other people in there.
Oh, shit.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. Yeah, the car was down. It's back up now. That's about the only thing new in my life.
Well, that is a thing.
The first about 20 minutes of this call driving.
Okay.
Let me too, but sorry, my kid needed my attention. I also unfortunately missed everything that Darius said, but I did catch the part about
he says he's going to be on the phone. Here he says he's going to be driving for about the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, I guess I'm assuming he has to pick up his sister or something like that. You might want to take that. You might want to change the position on your phone. We don't need to take your information about your placards. I know you got to hang that invisibly somewhere, I'm sure, but
right now I don't.
Fair enough. That said, Alterios, what's new and exciting for you? Also a member of our Tuesday night Warhammer Fantasy Homebrew World game.
Tuesday night was fun. Had a good Easter. Ham, cheesy potatoes, and Brussels sprouts.
Oh yeah, I could give my Easter dinner too later.
Yeah, you should do it.
Kite bought a rib roast, so I cooked a 6-pound rib roast with some roasted asparagus, twice baked potatoes, and some homemade strawberries and cream.
Oh, very nice.
Nice. Also, somewhat coincidental, but the justification for the coincidental tag will come out later. Completely unintentional, just for the record, when we get to that part of the story tonight. Anyway,
you
please
giving us a
continue,
ham?
Alterios.
Are you giving us a ham or rib roast? Is Jeff the chef
Mm.
going to be cooking?
Listen, I don't want to give away too much here.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that there's a whole lot to give away, but there is story elements that I just don't want to reveal right now.
Oh, there we go.
Oh gosh, he really is driving.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Darius, just for I don't know who else you got in the car with you or whatever, but maybe mute unless you need to speak. I realize that might be a bit challenging while you're driving. I don't know.
The Wi-Fi, yeah, it would be challenging while I'm driving, but the Wi-Fi just disconnected, so
Yeah, you
It-
got too far from the house. Yeah. Okay. Alterius, anything else?
Nothing else.
Okay. Warner, my favorite
Yo.
master of sword knowledge.
Why, thank you. I was explaining distal taper to Rev the other night.
Oh, let's see if I can figure out those words. Distal meaning distance, and taper meaning how the blade goes from wide to not.
Correct.
Yes. Now, what's the significance of that? Because the first thing I think of is energy transference through stabbiness.
So the real point of distal taper is in handling.
Sorry, I saw a pun in that. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes. No, that was intentional. But it's in sword handling.
Okay.
If your sword does not have proper distal taper, it will be far too blade heavy and unbalanced,
Yes.
and you will have a hard time doing anything but swinging it around like a weirdly shaped axe.
Yes. So this definitely applies to things of like the rapiers, epées, and foils. I would imagine.
Absolutely, but it also applies to the long sword, even the
Oh, so more or less all.
Zweihander.
So really,
Yep.
actually, all blades, really, because it's a matter of that. I'm going to say proportion. No, ratio is probably better from what the width of the metal is at the hilt versus the width of the metal at the tip.
Yup.
My confusion is I thought that it referred to the non-blade width when he first mentioned it, and instead it
Oh, you're
refers to
talking
the
like
blade edge to blade edge.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's not necessarily blade edge to blade edge.
But from
It's the flat to the flat.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just couldn't figure out the best way to say it, but you actually
that's why
broke
I
it down
thought
really nicely there.
Well, that's the way I thought it was, and then when you explained it, I thought you were talking about blade edge to blade edge.
It's not blade edge to blade edge. It's the flat to the flat.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's part of it too, honestly, because you have both of those dimensions that define the width of the metal at the hilt versus the width of the metal at the tip.
That is true, but different designs have reasons to
Yes.
have. There are geometric applications for wider from blade edge to blade edge at various, like the old Greek xiphos
Hmm.
is commonly called a slightly leaf-bladed sword. It
Okay.
has a slight bulge out towards the tip. Actually, it's close to the center of percussion. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure that was. Like I'm kind of internally nerding out. Not that I am very well knowledgeable of swords, but I do think swords are pretty cool in the design aspect. Here, take a hunk of metal and turn it into a blade that can remove body parts.
I would agree that swords are pretty cool.
So, and I think there's a small. I think in every, I'll say male because this applies. Age is almost indifferent. Any male finding that sword-like implement is always there's always that element of childhood wonder and fantasy and glee from just finding, like, for instance, the sword-shaped stick.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always that, like, or I mean, even for crying out loud, listen, when I say Christmas wrapping paper and lightsabers,
Oh yes,
we all know what I'm talking about. Because we all, men in particular, and probably quite a few women, to be totally fair and honest, quite a few people will go, oh yeah, that's a duel just waiting to happen. And so there's a fascination with swords and sword-like implements.
my brother-in-law and his wife that we saw on Easter were talking about how they had just created some more essentially big dueling swords, quote unquote, out of PVC and the extra thick pool noodles.
Nice. That sounds like SCA
It's
or
mainly just for
adjacent.
the kids in the neighborhood because
That
they're
too.
like the host house.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know
yeah.
how there's that one house that's
Yep.
the house with the cool parents that
Yep.
all the kids come to?
Yep.
That's them.
Mom isn't mom. Mom's more like a big sister. Not
So,
my mom. You know what I mean. The friend's mom.
yeah.
That's always more like a big sister. The cool mom. Yeah, no, I definitely I definitely do enjoy a good sword thing. And I don't know, like I feel like at some point almost every boy on the planet and probably quite a few girls on the planet have that moment of wishing they could be a knight in shining armor, which includes a sword and shield. Or
Mhm.
in some cases just a big fat sword. So, yeah, that sword fascination is always there. Well, with that, let us begin our game proper. Previously, on Tithes of Acheron, the threat to the Van Breeze domain worlds seems to finally be adequately addressed, and perhaps now the time for dealing with Davros Hennet himself is upon us. As we begin to depart Halask, what's the name of this stupid system? Halask. I'm getting Haslock. Oh my god, I'm doing it again. Halask, Taslock, confused. I did this to myself. Departing Halask, the ship and crew approach the outer edges of the system only to be forewarned by Winter, resident astropath, that perhaps holding out on the frontier of the system is best, as it seems that something is coming for the Lord Captain. Now, before we do that, though, because that was about where we left off last week, we're going to get one of those little, like, I don't know, 36, 72, 96 hours previously moments on the screen, and we go back to a moment. Well, one, I need to update because unless I did it last week, which I don't think I did. Let me see. What are we looking at?
One other thing before we go any further. Didn't you say that at the beginning of this week we'd have everybody would get their
Rolls. Acquisition
roll?
Yep.
Yes, that is coming next. There's two things I want to do before we do that, though. One is I need to adjust the profit factor because I don't think I did that last week. It is now 65 because the crew problem has been dealt with. And again, and also it's going to go up more, but just not right yet. If you recall, there was a purge being initiated about the time just before you left, and that purge is in the Halask government. And eventually, Governor, whatever his rank and title was, Roger Schreck, is going to end up in a position where he has much more authoritative, direct hands-on control of the government and the systems, or the system, as opposed to being, just one part of the governing body. Once that happens, your profit factor margin, or your profit factor, is going to go up some more because he is actually one of, quote unquote, the good guys, insofar as being a respectable, reasonable, and reliable member of government and member of your domain's governing rulership, etc. The second thing I want to do is
once that ship gets repaired, he'll also have a fast ship to move around the system to keep things flowing smoothly.
Okay, I take that back. There's three things that we need to figure out. But first, I stand corrected. Let me back up and reiterate where I'm going. You do have some acquisition rolls. There are two gun cutter crews that are requesting time to meet with the Lord Captain prior to you leaving Halask. And this is the gist of what they want. Once you agree to meet with them, because I know you want to meet with them because you want gun cutters ships. So, in short, I think we talked about this briefly. In short, these crews and their gun cutters were left behind because the ship they were a part of could no longer afford to remain in orbit while the crew problem was dealt with. Thus, they have basically been abandoned and are now seeking employment with you, specifically, in order to ensure that their crews are fed and paid, and that the families of those crew members back home are able to be paid and given money and all that stuff, as well as, of course, maintenance and upkeep for cutters themselves. So, when you make an acquisition roll for your gun cutters, because of these people wanting to be employed by you, you will receive a +10 bonus to that roll on top of all of the any other situations that you have going on. Hello?
I said nice.
Secondly, the other thing that I sort of get confusing as far as what I'm doing here, I want to take a quick look at our ship situation. I am tracking this. We have the Acheron's Ferry and we have the Paralos. They are leaving Halosk 3 together, going to wherever the Lord Captain says to go next. Then we have this Tempest Strike frigate. I believe it was heading back to Regius to do something there. I forget what exactly.
Well, we had two ships being restored. There was another strike frigate, or the small raider
Hazaroth.
frigate.
Yeah, there was the Hazaroth, and then there was the Tempest. And I believe they were both going back to Regius.
They're basically both on the edge of the system, working on repairs and stuff, trying not to get involved in the current fighting.
Right. In fact,
with the plans to rally back with us to exit the system.
So are they going to go with you moving forward, or are they going to Regius?
Well, they are going to Regius. If,
okay.
But I think our next stop was going to be Regius to see what the situation was.
I won't lie to you. I assumed you were just going to go to Alpha Hennetti, but who knows what'll happen after that? Because we haven't even met with whoever it is that's coming for you. We also have the Marathos, which I believe your intent was for it to be the local ship, part of the local system security forces in the Halosk system.
Both security and operational improvement.
Correct. Yeah, in fact, you gave it to somebody as the commander, and basically he's going to end up becoming whatever system defense fleet group you have. He's going to be the new commander of that organization.
The previous commander of the ship that surrendered is still in command of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But his chain of command under me is to report to the executor of the system.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. That answers that. So now I know where everybody's going. Well, at least I know these guys are going up here eventually. Get up there. This guy's hanging out here at Halosk, and then you guys going to wherever it is you decide to go. Ooh, excuse me, that was a weird burp on me. Hopefully that didn't really come through on the mic. That said, acquisition rolls. So, obviously we have somebody's going to make a roll, I'm assuming, for these gun cutters. And then whatever other acquisition rolls you want to make that you're able to do. And again, there is no restriction on anything, no additional modifiers on anything except a +10 for the gun cutter. I don't remember what we had agreed on either. What was, what the last framework was? I think it was on success you get 1 gun cutter, and then for every degree of success or 2 degrees of success you get an additional up to a max of something. I thought
it was every degree.
I honestly don't remember. I mean, and when I prepped my notes over the weekend, I don't remember what that was, and I never bothered to look.
I do remember.
Okay.
You are not going to make it easier, but you are going to give us 3 gun cutters if I got a success.
Okay.
Then for every degree of success beyond that, we were to get an additional gun cutter.
Up to 5.
Up to 5. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've also increased your odds of getting that roll, so whenever you guys are ready, go ahead and make that roll.
Well, since Darius is still on the road, why don't we put his roll on pause?
I will be back in like 2 minutes.
Alrighty.
I don't remember what the target number was specifically for the gun. I think we ended at
it's in my
flat
notes.
0 or net 0. But don't quote me on that. Or maybe a -10. I honestly don't remember at this point.
The group chat seems to be hiding from me again. Hold on.
I'll find it.
Well, it's probably no.
I found it. I messaged too many people memes.
That also checks out.
So aside from the gun cutters and maybe power armor, I don't know what else we'd want for the squatties. Better. So there's better bayonets, and armor aside from the gun cutters.
Am I missing the additional part of acquisition rolls that include stuff from Into the Storm? Am I missing that? Like where it is? Like, oh.
So what are you looking for in particular?
Okay, here we go. Expanded acquisition rolls. 11. I think I found what I'm looking for.
So the gun cutters, as we had calculated it, was very rare -20, vehicle -10, and negligible quantity +30, bringing it to a 63, which is now a 65.
Correct.
Yeah,
And then
so it
with
was
the
a
plus
net
10.
zero.
Sorry, go ahead, Warner.
Just that it was net 0.
Okay, it was net 0. I just couldn't remember specifically what it was. And that's fine. And now we have the plus 10 on top of that. So that would be a 75. If somebody wants to roll the dice,
I imagine Darius is going to want to throw another 10 on top of that. Is there?
Yes,
I am. I'll save my roll just in case Darius needs it.
oh,
For
in
the
case
gun
he
cutters.
misses the gun cutter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah.
But for Warner and Alterios, you guys can either roll for yourselves or roll for one of the things that I mentioned. It's up to you.
Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah, you know what? Since we're waiting for Darius to get on the computer at this point, Alterios or Warner, you guys want to make one of your rolls? Or maybe end up doing
Sure.
both of you, depending on how long it takes?
Alterios, do you know what you want?
Will you tell us what you want?
What you really, really want?
I didn't have anything personal now.
Well, you want to get some armor or swords for the squatties if you don't have anything personal?
I was gonna do light power armor, yeah.
Ooh, light power armor for your squads?
Or for yourself?
For the squads.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll
Very
get shot at.
nice.
That is a hell of a roll to make. Let me see. Acquisitions in the
I
core
think I have
book.
it. I have the math here. Hold on. Except I just pulled up the wrong thing.
Right.
So it's going to be very rare -20, minor quantity +10. So 50 base 55.
or is running. It's
Okay.
not entirely fixed.
What?
I still need $1,200. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
he's
guys.
talking. Yeah, he's talking to his people. So you're looking at did you say a net -10 for power armor for everybody? For the platoons? Whatever.
Yes. As long as he doesn't improve the quality.
Yeah,
If he
for
gets,
common
if he
quality.
gets, yeah.
I think it's improvement enough, even common quality.
Okay.
So 55. I'll make an early expenditure of fate to make that 65. Hopefully I roll better than last night.
Well, so far you are.
Hey.
He was rolling really bad last night for anybody that didn't see the Wonders of Erewhon show.
One roll was under 70.
All right, what? All right, hold on. Let me. I want to update these.
Yeah, the squatties now have light power armor. Nice.
I don't remember what the stats for power armor. So I got
Light
get it.
power armor, I believe, is
I think it's body
7
or
armor.
yeah, it's either 6 or 7 all across.
Let me check my self here.
I believe it's 6.
Yeah, it's 6. Nope, it's 7.
Oh.
Oh, I
7
think 6
around.
is Enforcer Carapace.
Light power armor is 7 all around.
Light power armor,
Because
7 all. Yep.
I have best quality light, And I've got 8 all around, and then with the sub-skin armor platings, I've got 10 everywhere but my head. At 7 armor all around, it takes a Hellgun to fully pen.
Oh,
Or, Meltas, which don't care about even more armor.
I think getting light power armor for these guys was a good move. That was not shadowing, was it?
Oh my.
Oh.
Well, Warner, what you going for?
I am going to try. I very much emphasis on the try to get an Eldar Sun Rifle.
Ooh, you heretic.
Because gun go bang.
Give me just a
So-
moment. Let me finish this up. I'm almost done. Let's see.
Hey, I can't point fingers. It's on my wish list too.
Armsman.
But do I?
Because it's amazing.
I was like, why is it on my wish list? Or
Why a sun rifle specifically?
Um,
I'm not
But-
familiar with Eldar weaponry.
so
Rifle,
the
go
Sun
Bert.
Rifle has a 90-meter range. The rate of fire is single shot, 4 semi-auto, or 8 fully auto, with 1d10 plus 6 energy damage, pen 4, clip 60, reliable, and storm.
Yeah.
Storm is pretty badass. Reliable is nice just because it doesn't jam, except if the dice says jam, you roll again, and then it's like on a 9 or 10 it jams. Something silly like that.
Yeah, it's doesn't jam most of the time.
Yeah, and by most, it's like 90+% of the time it might jam, it does not jam.
and
Correct.
that means he can get common quality and not have to worry about jamming.
Exactly. All right, so Warner, give me your numbers for what
So,
this is.
It is unique.
All right,
so that's
that
going to be a
makes-
minus 70.
right off the bat, you're down to 5, okay? But you're only getting 1.
No, no,
I am-
negative 5.
Yeah, negative 5.
Oh yeah. Nope. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yep.
Negative
But
5.
it is true that I'm only getting 1, which brings it back up to 25. And I'm going to spend a fate point to try and make it 35.
Okay. And then common is
Eh.
0.
Yep.
Okay. Make your roll, sir.
So under 35, please. Here we go.
That is not an under. Would you like to use a fate point, or would you like
Yes,
to save them for later?
I am going to re-roll and attempt this one more time.
Okay.
It is entirely probable that I will not get it.
I mean, you
I
have a third of a
remember
chance.
I remember not getting my power armor for quite a while too.
Yes, this is
Oh.
true.
Yep.
But what's on the wish list is what's on the wish list.
And you know what?
Yes!
I think, and this is how this turns out. I think you spend probably quite a bit of what little bit of free time you have doing the Warhammer 40K version of making phone calls, maybe touring some of the warehouses, and somewhere in a pile of stuff locked in a shipping container that was extracted from one of those Xenos ship graveyards out in the outer part of the system is this Eldar rifle, whatever it was that you said you
Sun
wanted.
rifle.
The Sun Rifle. It's not in great condition. It's not, like, to be clear, mechanically it functions. It does
Mhm.
not look good, though. It's not the
Oh.
pristine clean that you would expect the Eldar weaponry to be. It's
gonna
dirty,
get love and
dusty,
care.
grungy. But you appreciate fine weaponry, so I'm sure in your free time over the next few days, you will be quite engaged in cleaning this thing up.
Oh yes.
But you do have a sun rifle, whatever. It's
Eldar
so
sun rifle.
yeah. So lucky you. So it
Yes.
turns out that this was actually a good system for you to be on to get one of these things.
Most excellent.
All right, I believe we have a gun cutter roll to make against a
I
total of
want to run
75.
for a sun rifle too.
Well, you know what?
No,
Decisions
I'm
need
kidding.
to be made
I'm
here.
Kidding. I'm kidding. I'm rolling for the gun cutters until I get gun cutters.
Okay. 75, and then I believe you said you're going to add a fate point to make it 85.
What? Oh, because of the plus 10.
Correct.
Okay. So 85. Yes, that is correct. 85.
And with
Not
aplomb,
7.
this gun cutter crew commander basically says, this is almost like, we're all a bunch of Battletech nerds here at this table, so this is an understanding that's going to be easy to come. If you've ever followed the rules in Field Manual Mercs to create your own mercenary unit, one of those options that you roll at some point along the way is have mech will travel. You rolled up a full lance of mech warriors with mechs with techs, and you get
Whoa.
a flotilla of gun cutters. You now have 5 gun cutters to spread amongst your ships as you see fit. I imagine they're all going to go to the Acheron sphere.
You
'cause
know
that's where all
what?
your special armsmen are.
You know what? I should have gone for that best quality Eldar sun rifle.
Yeah.
Too late now.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, decisions were made. That's all I can say.
Hey,
So
we got 5 gun cutters and crews to go with them.
correct. So we have 5
That
gun
does not
cutters.
suck.
Each cutter can ferry 30 personnel to the ground on a single run. Now, however you
And that's
decide to,
without power armor, though.
Light power armor does not increase size.
Correct.
Full-blown
Oh,
power armor
okay.
does.
correct.
That's
Now
why I got light.
you can. So I even have on here in my notes it says literally with a 30-person capacity for moving troops to the ground quickly, and an honor guard platoon of about 40 plus the 5 or 8-man party for the rogue trader. 2 is the minimum cutters required. More than 3 might be a bit much. Let the dice play. And so with that, you now have more gun cutters than you know what to do with. Except bring more people to the ground and more close air support runs.
Yep.
All right. Rev, that takes it to you.
Oh,
Oh, real quick,
Yeah.
before we continue, I would like to approach the Lord Captain.
Uh-oh.
approach.
Lord Captain, I would like to present to you the commander of our new gun cutter fleet.
I look around.
He's standing right behind me.
Oh, I thought you were going to point to yourself. I'm sorry. I was trying to set
No.
that moment up.
I was wondering too, and I was like, nope, let me see how they go before I interject my own bullshit. Also,
What is his name, Omar?
I don't know. What is his name? I want to suddenly have the commander to present.
Yeah.
Because I didn't generate one. I thought I
All right,
did,
Omar.
but I
Of
must have
course
skipped that
not.
step. What's
Omar,
that?
you are you are playing the new gun cutter group commander. He has a Minnesotan accent.
Eh? Land of 1,000 lakes, eh?
No. That's Canada.
It is also
I don't know if you've
Minnesota.
listened to anybody from the Midwest.
It's also Minnesota.
Yep.
And possibly Upper Peninsula, Michigan as well.
Oh, you're damn right it is. You're darn
Super.
tootin'.
Okay, well,
Well,
I
you
haven't
pers-
spent much time in those areas. So.
No, because I know you're in that one area, but just beneath Michigan.
Yes.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
You betcha. You bet your boots.
Where the air is a little warmer and the summers are really hot.
I could not attest a whole lot. I do know having lived in Michigan myself, I can imagine what it gets like in Indiana.
I'm not in Indiana.
I was thinking you were. You're in the other one beneath Michigan.
Yes.
I apologize.
One that has a huge rivalry with the Michigan football team.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Listen, all I know for sure, and I'm not even sure because I don't follow it, but apparently Wolverines are #1 for NCAA in basketball. That is.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, that's what NCAA is, basketball.
Well, NCAA is National Collegiate Athletic Association, so I imagine they cover more than just a single sport. But who knows? I'm not a sports ball guy.
Neither am I.
I'm waiting to get roasted in the comments on this video now.
The National Collection of African Athletes?
No, sir, that's it.
Oh.
No, we can't do that, Rev, you're in timeout. Damn it, I need to bring him out of timeout because I need him to make his roll.
What did I say? Anyway.
Anyway, I present the commander of the fleet and explain that we now have 5 gun cutters with complete crews.
I extend my hand to the, what is his rank?
Whatever rank you want to give him, Lord Captain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does he have a rank on his uniform? He would have had a previous rank.
He's probably got something like commander or something. I don't know sure how that works. He would be the equivalent. I mean, at this point, he would almost be the equivalent of your carrier or commander air group. But you're not a carrier. You know what I mean? These aren't fighters, but at this point, he's basically just become commander of the air group.
So I had a cousin in the Air Force in Desert Storm who was a captain, and he had a squadron under him.
6 fighters probably, or 6
aircraft. I believe next bump up from that would be major.
Next, the next one up from, but see, a captain in the Navy is the equivalent of a colonel in the Army, Air Force, Marines.
Yes, Navy is different.
Yeah, I think with a Navy theme, this would be, at the very least, a commander or lieutenant commander, possibly even a captain, but he's not the captain of the ship, so he would be probably, officially he's ranked as a captain, but otherwise everybody would just call him the CAG. I'm just assuming he would be the CAG, because that would be like the closest title as far as his quote-unquote duty position or role or whatever this game calls. But yeah, let's go with Commander for now. Commander, what's his face?
Commander, what's his face? It's a pleasure to meet you.
You set this up. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah,
Commander George Carlin.
George Carlin. Oh my God.
Commander Carlin.
It's gonna be spelled with a K. Just for the record.
Okay. For purposes of copyright.
Yes. Intellectual distinctiveness.
It's Commander what's his face Carlton.
Ooh, Carlton Carlin.
Sorry, Carlin. Commander what's his face Carlin.
Yes.
We call him Woody. I gotta stop memeing here.
It gets really confusing in combat when somebody shouts what.
He looks over. I'm right here. All right. Please continue, or we shall move on. One or the other.
Moving on.
Okay.
What's out there? Yes, sir. I'm in position.
All right, Rev. What's your acquisition action here?
If I go for power armor, it's on a 43.
Okay.
45.
Yeah, 45.
Yeah, 45. And I could bump that to a 55.
I thought you had light power armor already. Am I crazy?
No.
No, those are two different questions. Sorry.
Warner had it, and I had best crafted like stormtrooper armor.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, stormtrooper is what a specific group of people who wear that armor are called. It's not actually.
George Lucas is looking for your location? Question mark. Don't read into that. Don't add to it. Just leave it the way I left it. Use the door I left open.
Okay, what door?
The one that says George Lucas and his stormtrooper. not the other guy.
These aren't the stormtroopers you're looking for.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Shut up, Rev. Shut the fuck up. Will you make your goddamn acquisition roll already before you get us fucking money strike, whatever the fuck the term is? Demonetized?
Look, I just like the uniforms, that's all.
Oh my god.
Oh
Stop it.
my goodness.
Stop it.
You aren't. No.
Just roll for your friggin' power armor, will you please? Oh, you did.
He did.
Did you miss it by 1 point? No, you missed
I
it by
think
20
so.
points.
No.
Because you said you needed 45, right?
Well, I was adding a plus 10,
55.
so it was 55.
Are you going to re-roll that, or
11.
are you going to leave it?
I feel like it's good dice after bad, but I'm going to re-roll it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Curious, does this look familiar to you?
Looks familiar to me.
Well, I say this to Alterios in particular. I don't remember the exact number he rolled, but I gave him a free roll. And then I gave him a free re-roll. And it literally went from something like 90 to 91.
It went from bad to worse.
It literally did. I was like, damn it, man.
But,
I can't even
and
give
then there
him
was
an
a
option
time he
here.
wanted just anything below a 40 and rolled a 41.
Oh, yeah, he did that too. Yeah. Yeah, the dice were not pleasant last night.
No.
All right. That is it for acquisitions. We are moving along. You are now out towards the outer edges of the Halosk system. And the Lord Captain, sitting out upon high on his Lord Captain throne command console chair in the bridge of the Acheron's ferry, is approached by our resident astropath, Winter. She says, Lord Captain, a brief moment, if I may.
Oh, very well.
It would be in our best interest to hold here prior to entering the warp. It seems as though something is way here to you.
Very well. I order a full stop, and all stations ready.
Very well. It takes probably about a half hour from that point. It's so probably a little bit of tension building. Winter does not let on in any way, shape, or form. Anything more than I think is on its way here. And then in front of the ships, now, astronomically speaking, this is thousands of kilometers ahead of you. But the view we get makes it appear much like Star Trek The Next Generation, that things are showing up right in front of us. Shortly thereafter, we have the roiling coils of warp energies. I don't know why I do this to myself when I write this shit. Last night it was alliteration. Now it's using the OI diphthong. It's not diphthong. You get the idea. Anyway, and coming through. Let me pull it up. Oh, there it is. Is your ship the Severed Hand, freshly repainted, with some warp marring damage, but freshly painted in your ship's navy colors, whatever they may be. I have to ask, there is the Pursuit of Profit. Did that ship join your merchant fleet?
Yes.
And it didn't
Pursuit of Profit is not joining us here.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Its refit would have had it set up for making money, not for...
Correct. I wanted to verify that, because otherwise I was about to drop it out as well. On approach, the captain of the Severed Hand reports, Lord Captain Brigadier Van Breeze von Gisbath, and all of your esteemed titles. I have a name for this bird, and I don't know why I didn't put it there. Give me a second. This guy's name?
Is he the captain that I left in charge of the ship, or has...
This is a new captain.
Has there been some personnel changes?
This is the new captain of the Severed Hand. I don't remember if I ever identified him previously. If I did, I'm retconning it. This is his new name. Once I find it,
Well, you haven't identified him previously. We did leave behind a command crew, in addition to the newly loyal officers that remained.
Just a moment. Ah, yes. This is. I am Captain Marcus Vandross, the captain of your severed hand. I bring with me an esteemed entourage that is requesting that you receive them at your earliest convenience. And when he says requesting, he puts a little extra emphasis on that word.
When would the Inquisitor like to board the ship?
Yeah.
Have I indicated at all that the Inquisitor was coming? Come on. But yes, there is
no, but the captain that you were just role playing just did.
No, he didn't.
He did.
He just said that that there is a distinguished party aboard his vessel that requests you receive them as soon as you are able.
And the only party from what is that place?
Footfall.
Footfall.
The only party from Footfall that would have that pull is her.
Yeah.
The only party from Footfall that would leave Footfall that would have that pull.
No,
Okay.
no.
These are fair assumptions. Yes, I will admit.
But
the governor of the station would have that pull on the station, but once they left the station, his authority would end.
Oh yeah, it would absolutely.
In terms of his official authority.
Right, but the Kazbalika authority would go with him.
But he wouldn't also announce to the captain of a ship that he was head of the regional head of the Kazbalika.
No,
Right.
In fact, he never did, unless it was just him and the Lord Captain, as I recall. Arturios, you're getting ready to say something too, I believe.
An Inquisitor wouldn't just be like, "Oh yes, I request my." He would just show up on your fucking ship.
That's also a fair point. That said,
what are you gonna do? Stop him?
When you say, yeah, right? What are you gonna do? Tell me no? That said, when you say whatever it was you said about the Lord Inquisitor, whatever, he just simply looks at you and says, "I will inform them that you are ready to receive them as soon as their ship arrives."
I ask if it would be more convenient for them to meet me aboard my vessel.
No, they want to come here. I'm sorry, he doesn't say it quite like that, but it's implied that they will meet you in the receiving bay of your ship, the Acheron's ferry.
Has their shuttle already departed?
Well, yes. In that, when you ask the question, one of your bridge crew members just looks over you and says, "Yeah, they literally just slipped the dock right now."
Well, if this just arrived in system and we immediately calmed them, they wouldn't have physically had time to get to our dock. If that's
no, but let's just imagine for the moment that this is about to happen and you're not going to be given a whole.
Oh, I can't blow their ship up.
It's your ship. Do you really want to blow it up?
No.
I say blow it up, well then let's blow it up.
The Inquisitor on the shuttle. I mean, I just did this trick with the crew.
Oh man, you're gonna be so disappointed when you find out what's on that ship.
I mean, you could certainly try blowing it up. That sounds like some big consequences, but you know.
Well,
I think I might have to resign from your service if you blow up an Inquisitor.
I mean, above board, you're not getting any sort of indication that there's any sort of trickery afoot either. So, like, this is all like we can argue, you know, that there are definitely authentication codes being passed back and forth between all
there
ships.
may be, but this is what I'm telling to the command crew.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the other player characters and assorted high-ranking individuals who might be in my presence. I am telling them that we left in her possession the device that appears to be having a malevolent influence on people around Lord Hanet, or the false Lord Hanet.
Mm-hmm.
And Templars are not Templars. Sorry, my brain. Inquisitors are of a much more vaunted than most individuals and is likely to be able to resist whatever influence it might have. But just in case, all of our specialist squads are going to be in whatever bay we receive the shuttle in when it arrives,
Sure.
in addition to us.
Sure.
Call it an honor guard.
Yeah, absolutely. Captain Vandroth will simply state your honor guard, in addition to your receiving party, is much appreciated, Lord Captain. Excuse me, my Lord Captain. Perhaps we should, in fact, he even says something, and I think you can tell he's got a set.
Comms are closed. I'm telling this to the other people.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, never mind then. Shall we go to the hangar?
Yes.
Okay. Who's going with you to the hangar? I'm assuming your normal crew of you and your master gunner, what's his face, Reinhardt. That's not the right word. Not armsman either. God damn it, archmilitant.
Yes.
I'm telling you, there's
Master
so
at
many
arms.
words in my brain. It actually takes my brain a moment to figure out which word I need to use.
Well, obviously Warner would be there, but I'm leaving it up. Why don't I leave it up to Alturios and Lucian, whether or not they would like their characters to be there, since we are still on our ship where they do have other duties to perform.
That is fair. I will point out, nobody has specifically requested it, but your receiving party is usually all of your senior crew or command crew or whatever you want to call it. Now, you're the Lord Captain on your own ship. You do whatever you feel is pertinent.
Well, I'm leaving it to their characters. If I requested all of them, would they find their duties on ship more pressing?
Alturius, I will tell you that from the Engineerium perspective, your ship is running fine, but there is the ongoing, ever-present concern about the nav station. So, it's up to you.
Oh yeah, I'm still in a void suit.
You've
I
been
think we have a
changing out
bathroom
oxygen the whole time?
Of course.
Buying only the freshest oxygen from the space balls.
To be fair, Omar,
From what was it? I forget the name of the world, but the Druish, I don't know, consortium?
Druidia.
Druidia, there you go.
Yeah.
I
joke.
have sort of an above table question.
Yeah.
Oxygen cylinders are normally filled in an oxygenated environment from other oxygen sources. If these canisters are being refilled on board our ship, is he getting infected canisters?
It's entirely possible. I realized this about the time I was writing up some of the content for tonight, and I was like, that's right. They were supposed to be making toughness checks like every episode, at a minimum once, if not more. And I had forgotten about that. That said, it's safe to say that regardless of your best efforts, and because nobody has figured out anything specific to do in eliminating this infestation, all of you have at least the lowest level of infestation going.
I'm infested. I already knew that though.
Yeah. I think for Reinhardt, it was one of those. I take my helmet off and like, oh, do you? And you're like, shit.
Uh-huh. No, I'm out of character suspected that taking the helmet off was a bad idea, but in character, that's what he would have done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I find it difficult to believe that anybody would spend more than a few hours or days in such conditions. That said, we are in the receiving bay, so we have, I believe, well, I know we have the Lord Captain and we have our Archmilitant. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just clarifying for Lucian's sake. You have now spent like a month.
I can tell you how long it's been since you.
Oh, it's been a month, and we have a way to figure out whether people are infected or not, right?
The best that you've been able to do is a rudimentary form of identifying those who have been, have not been. You haven't found a way to eradicate the infestation.
Right, but we can tell when somebody's been infected.
Yeah, as long as you continue doing testing and checking people, or just assume that they are. So 132.
So at some point, I would have been retested and found to have the lowest level.
Yeah, at some point, because it's been roughly 2 months since learning of this infestation.
So I was going to say 2 months is a long time to spend in a single vac suit.
Yeah, probably getting
Yes,
a little
it
bit,
is.
getting a little bit raunchy in
I
there.
have more than one.
As
Yes, but when you change those suits,
That would be when I got infected.
Yep, that would do it. That would do it. That would indeed do it.
I mean, I would try and put myself in a sterile room with all the laboratory sealants and everything else, but there's only so much you can do.
I was gonna say this ain't no virus.
It acts like a virus.
Yeah, but spraying antibacterial goo over your suit's
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna keep you from getting it.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
No, we need anti-nanite goo.
Anti-nanic.
If you have it.
All right. Who is in the bay? I know we've got. Let me see. We've got Grizzy, Stickers. There's Reinhardt going in the bay. There's the Lord Captain going in the bay.
Were you
Darius, is your character in the bridge or the bay?
The bay.
Alturios, is your character in the enginarium or the bay?
Did you make this sound like it was going to be a security risk or no?
Define security risk.
Like, I did try to define this as a potential security risk.
Yes. Do you want your
So
servitor with you?
Hopefully you and your combat servitor came.
Oh, let me pull him up just for extra effect. This will be amazing.
Combat servitor. Etor.
It would be funny if you had a duplication glitch and like 20 of them spilled onto the table.
That would. I think you're right. I think on some levels that might be funny, but also I'd be like, God damn it, stop that.
Why would you? Look, I wouldn't have done anything, but that sounds like you're yelling at me again.
How hot did you want the servitor? Do you want me to like prep like a burst of 10 rounds to go in the landing shuttle?
Is he on standby mode or is he on weapons hold mode?
He's ready to fire, but not firing. I mean, like
he's not pre-gaming. Dang it!
he's not opening fire as soon as the door opens.
Okay. It would be funny though.
Misunderstanding and suddenly the never mind.
Yes, killing an Imperial Inquisitor is so funny.
Lady,
well, actually, it is.
High Lord of Terra.
Lady Inquisitor, my apologies. That combat servitor suffered a malfunction. I will have our Mechanicus servants punished accordingly. They'll be put on the next engine refueling duty. If you're not aware, they're gonna melt before they.
Oh yeah, no, I know. If engine refueling is absolutely guaranteed of death. Let's see. I'm just trying to find my correct spot in my notes for right. Arriving in the landing bay aboard the ferry. Excuse me, is a shuttle of some sort, whatever shuttle would be sufficient to carry a pretty decent sized party. Excuse me.
Does she have her own gun cutter?
You know what? It is a gun cutter, but it is unmarked.
It's got the tail numbers blanked out.
Yes.
Not even an Inquisitorial Rosette? That's weird.
Well, if she needs the rosette showing, she uses it. But if she doesn't need it, it doesn't go on.
Okay. Deep cut and above the table question. Warner, which gun do you have out?
So the guns that I'm gonna say that the sun rifle is back in my room, still getting some
it's
TLC.
Probably still being degooed.
So I would probably have the Clovis plasma gun and your strange rifle gift.
Omar.
Above
the table, since I know you may have forgotten.
Do
you remember that there's a symbol on the gift?
There is, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't remember the symbol. Can you DM it to me?
Yeah, give me. Okay, I'll hobble back to my computer. I stepped away for a second.
Sure, that'll give me a chance to narrate what happens next.
My mouth and face kind of hurt, so I was getting myself some peanut. I was getting myself some peanut butter and applesauce.
Sure. Arriving in the landing bay, the newest gun cutter aboard the ship, the 6th gun cutter, arrives, touches down, and after a moment, the one of the personnel ramps descends. Coming down first are two Space Marines wearing gray black armor, except both of them have a single pauldron. One wearing a red pauldron, the other one a dark green pauldron. The one with the red pauldron is carrying a bolt gun in his hands and has what appears to be a heavy bolter strapped to his back, as well as a chainsword on one hip. The green pauldron Marine has what appears to be a heavy flamer across his back and two combat knives on either hip, and his hands are empty. They both descend and then kind of take up a spot between the ramp and the Lord Captain's receiving party. And once they exit and position themselves, the next person coming off the gun cutter is a tech priest wearing the red robes of an adept of Mars, but carrying several symbols marking him as a Magos Biologus. I don't know if I'm saying it right. He's the Magos Biologus. As he steps off, he stops just at the end of the ramp, and he turns around, extends a mechadendrite arm towards the next person coming down. And you all definitely recognize this individual as the Lady Inquisitor Sabrina Andrymos. She is about 5-something. I don't remember how tall I made her, but I do remember making her very, very, very physically frail looking and small in stature. But because she's a Lady Inquisitor and her inquisitorial robes and rosette and just her presence in general, she just appears to be much larger than she actually is. At the foot of the ramp, the biologist then allows her, whatever it is, the other tech priest here, allows her to lead him and then the rest of their party towards the Lord Captain, following several lesser tech adepts and assistant inquisitors. Lastly is Marcellus Thale and what you probably could assume to be the captain of the Severed Hand. Lady Andrymos approaches your receiving party and says, "My Lord Captain Brigadier Van Breeze von Gisbath, it is a pleasure." She extends a hand when she says this. "It is a pleasure to see you once again."
Yeah, to Death Watch.
For some reason, sorry, I just got distracted. My Discord just pasted the wrong thing to you.
Yeah, see, I have four messages here. Oh, yes. Yes. Those guys. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, I think I remember.
Interesting.
I don't remember if I know in character. I don't think I do.
Probably don't.
I don't think I do.
In fact, I'm not even sure if Reinhardt would recognize the symbol on his own weapon.
I'm sorry,
where was that put?
There's a symbol on your rifle.
Where was that put?
It's on the image that I sent you, so you can see it. Warner, I don't know how far you'd have to go to see it, or if you saved it somewhere else.
That's got to be months and months ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was like last Christmas at least.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to think of what search words might be near it.
I could give you a couple. Well, no, you probably wouldn't, because you wouldn't have known that. You wouldn't have used those words, I should say.
I could
say Assassinorum.
I can say more words because I'm the one that designed it.
Yeah.
Above the table, it's the logo of the Vindicare Temple.
Ah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be chortling over here like I'm Emperor fucking Palpatine. But
yeah, no, Reinhardt would not know what a Vindicare is.
No.
He's killed lots of things. He's never been around like an assassin. Like open combat is his thing.
Aren't those kind of unknown to like almost everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, the only person who would, like, I wouldn't know what it is unless and so far as I know from my character's background, they would have no reason to know what that is. The only person who would likely know what that is the
Inquisitor. Who's currently standing before you with her hand stretched out towards you in greeting, saying it is a pleasure to see you again, Lord Captain.
And I genteelly accept her proffered hand with one of my own and say, "It is welcome to have you aboard the ship. I must ask, have you suffered any deleterious effects from the artifact which we left in your possession? We have seen that it has had some to our ship, and a similar artifact has had much more of an effect on House Hanetti."
It is interesting that you bring this up, my Lord Captain. Let me introduce to you my associate, the Magos Biologus. I have his name somewhere. His full name. There it is. V Delta Scran. And this is where the tech priest comes up. And in one of his mechadendrites is what appears to be some form of scanner. He waves it in front of every single person of the party while the Lady Inquisitor just simply stands there.
We have detected the intrusion of what I believe your scanner is designed to detect, though our methods are likely more rudimentary than yours, my lady.
Yes. Please, allow Scran to do his work. And he continues his scanning.
May I ask, do you have a way to reverse the effects or to remove the infestation?
She does not answer right away. She lets Scran finish his scan. Wow, I really should have chosen a different name.
Scran scan.
Scran standing.
Did he do it with a scranner?
Okay, guys. I hate you all.
You're the one who did this.
I know. I'm done. Listen, I realize I'm a victim of my own freaking stupidity here. V Delta Scran takes a moment and scans literally everybody. And I should have mentioned also that Anastasia is down here as well as Win. But he goes through every one of your official welcoming party, and then he kind of like does a very vague, slow general wave in the direction of your honor guard Marines, armsmen, whatever. And after probably what feels like a few moments, turns back to the Inquisitor and simply nods. She then finally answers your question, Borgadillo. Says, "Yes, I believe we can do something about it."
Then I must immediately ask for your assistance. One of my command crew has a more severe level of the infestation than the rest of us and has been quarantined.
A single evening shouldn't be a problem. And as she says that, she's looking at Scran in that questioning look, and Scran simply nods again, doesn't say anything. However, he does look at Icarus, and in Binaric says, "He is most likely going to die, but it can wait until morning before we can."
He's talking about the.
He's talking about Yunko Bar.
Okay. Unable to. I'm speaking back in binaric. Unable to perform rite of servitoritude.
Ill-advised to servitorize that one. Best to consign to the.
Understandable.
And for the rest of you, this conversation takes place literally in like 2 seconds. For those that don't understand
binaric, so I don't get nothing.
Unless you speak binaric.
Angry AOL online sounds.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I was gonna say, even with my tech usage skill, I don't think binaric is included in that.
No, because this is one where you actually have to know the language, and it's not meant for the normal human mind. Because I think there's underlayers of like etheric information transfer as well, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. That said, as there is a brief audible sigh from the Lady Inquisitor as she sees this exchange, and she looks to you, Brigadier, and says, "I do apologize for Scran. He does have a bit of an aversion to speaking in Gothic. Prefers the data flow binary, the natural speaking. That said, I do hope you have something planned for our arrival and hosting us."
I said, as your presence was unknown to us until recently, and we were unsure if an infestation was what awaited us on board the shuttle. I said, our plans to be hospitable are limited. allow me but a moment, and I am on the comms to
Jeff the chef.
Jeff the Ogre and Chef.
I am actually on the comms to our
High factotum.
high factotum
Mm-hmm.
to arrange for all of the necessary supplies to be arranged post haste, including the putting Jeff the chef on as elaborate as of a meal as he is capable of.
It takes a few minutes, but you do get a quick, I'm going to say a data slate text message comes across from the high factotum, simply stating dinner will be ready at 7 p.m., which is about 4 hours from now.
And if we have any luxury goods in storage that are not already set up for guest rooms, that is to be arranged. I'm assuming
a few
we
more
would
moments
have...
go by, and the high factotum states a number of staterooms have been set aside for the just joined the. With that as well, Sabrina and Drymos approaches Winter and says, find the right. Yes, here we go. She actually approaches Winter and leans in close and whispers a few short words to her. And after a second or two, of which there is a noticeable pause, Winter nods and her demeanor changes. Not entirely, but certainly a noticeable change. And then she nods to the Inquisitor, and then she nods to the Lord Captain. And then resumes remaining at the ready. After my.
I say, my lady, I believe until dinner is ready and your quarters are prepared, continued action is the next course.
Oh,
I
please.
said, to inform you of the alien comings and goings of minor note compared to what it appears your primary concern is. There were an active group of Kroot mercenaries who have, by and large part, either appear to have all been neutralized across several systems. They are responsible for the death of a large number of humans on board a space station. In addition, there has been an orc infestation that was spurred on, organized, and directed against Imperium forces on, and I've forgotten the name of the world, sorry.
You're talking about the orc issue that was at Vitamar.
On Vitamar. The leadership of those orcs have been dealt with, as well as the main body of the orcs, and the planetary governor has been left to mop up the small amount of orcs that were not dealt with directly.
Very well. I'm
Reinhardt
saddened
will
to hear
grin
that...
from ear to ear at the violence against orcs.
Yes.
I will also mention that several orc spacefaring vessels have been eliminated from the sector as well.
Excellent news. Sad it is to hear that such Xenos activity has taken, but more importantly, much more commendable is the fact that they were dealt with before even I knew about them. Although she looks to the two Death Watch guards near her, neither of them respond to anything. They're just simply giant Death Watch statues. I think that's actually the first time I identified them as Death Watch. Although you guys probably figured that out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. She looks at the two Death Watch Marines. She says, what was she going to say before I got sidetracked?
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. It's coming back around. We did suspect something was going on when many of the Xenos in the Xenos quarter of Footfall suddenly left. This does confirm a theory that I had been pursuing regarding House Hennet and the allocation of Xenos mercenaries.
I raise my hand and I say, in addition, we have discovered that House Hennet is not acting under any rogue trader warrant and is in fact a... independent entity with no actual authority from the Imperium.
I have news regarding House Hanet. I had hoped to wait until a conference in the morning after have our dinner tonight. Evening's rest. Our transit through the warp was not exactly smoothest.
Reinhardt shudders.
Ah, yes, your arch-militant. I remember him. Such an interesting weapon you carry there. Master Armalungen, yes?
I will beam at being recognized, and I will be, yeah, it was a gift. I'm very proud of her.
She motions in a suggestive manner, asking for you to allow her to peruse your weapon.
Absolutely.
She takes it, and I want to be clear. I don't remember how heavy looking this weapon is, but I know she's not very heavy looking. When she manipulates this weapon in a fashion that might be reminiscent of the old guard in Washington, D.C., she manipulates this weapon with ease in a strange, like, not necessarily cursed, magical, augmented sort of way.
Fluid?
Yes, definitely fluid motions. There is no, like, strain in her motions. Like, the weapon doesn't weigh too much for her. But she goes through this, and then she stops where the insignia is now. I don't remember where on the weapon it is, but she definitely displays it for all to see. It is not easy to spot, but it is not super difficult to spot either. She points to it. She says, "Weapon has been blessed by a distinguished order of assassin. Carry it well. Hate for it taken away." She hands it back.
I shall endeavor to make no dishonor of the weapon and to use it in the Emperor's service.
See that you do. And then she looks to you, Lord Captain. Shall we... Or, excuse, I'm sorry. Please allow me to introduce the rest of my party. I have mentioned the Delta Scran, a Magos Biologus who has, for some short time now, worked with me in relation to this particular Xenos problem. And she motions, of course, for the other tech adept here. He is kind of short for a tech adept, but his several mechadendrites and his overall machine bulk make him appear quite a bit larger than he actually is. His face is absolutely obscured by respirators and voxcasters, showing only his eyes that are starting. Oh my god, startling white with brilliant green irises. Sabrina Andrimos then motions to a young woman who stands about 2 meters tall, so right about 6 feet.
Yeah.
Thin, long, straight brown hair and brown eyes and a narrow face. She is wearing ecclesiarchal, saying this all wrong, ecclesiarchal garb. And Andrimos introduced, oh my god. I promise, I know I can speak English. I really can. Andrimos introduces her as Sister Chatelaine Anit von Hammersmark of the Order of the Veiled Mantle. And she steps forward, smiling. You realize she has the face that smiling comes easily to her. And she gives a short nod, short bow, and extends her own hand.
I'm pretty sure my character would know this, but I can do some rolls if you'd like.
Go ahead.
I say, my lady.
Please continue.
It is a pleasure to have one of such secret knowledge on board the vessel.
She smiles. And there's a look in her eyes. It's almost like watching a shark circle its prey. You recognize it as you recognize in her a certain mercantile diplomacy that you are quite familiar
with. Me? No.
And she says, "The honor is mine. I look forward to being able to complete my business here."
May I ask, is your business relevant to the ladies, or are you here for other matters?
I was fortunate enough to obtain special remit. But we don't need to talk about all this now.
Assuredly, there will be time.
Indeed, there will be. And
Come,
then
would you care to accompany us to the bridge as we leave the system?
I would be honored.
And my lady, we may have different customs than much of the cult imperialis, but you are more than welcome to participate in our rituals for departure to the warp.
I am ever curious to know what these might be. And Sabrina Andrymos, I keep calling her by her full name. Andrymos then motions to a man dressed in whatever naval officer attire a captain of your fleets would wear. She introduced him, the captain of the Severed Hand, Marcus Vandross. And she kind of, in a somewhat subtly humorous sort of way, leans in slightly towards you and says, "Do be careful. He is viciously commendable at." And Captain Vandross smirks a little bit as he bows deeply before you, and then straightens and extends his hand. "My Lord Captain, a pleasure to finally meet you in person. I look forward to serving under you."
May I ask, Captain Vandross, how you specialize in regicide?
The Lady Inquisitor is a worthy opponent. She honors me with.
Okay, board game, not actual regicide.
Correct. Yeah, we're talking about chess.
Okay.
Or whatever the 40K version of chess is.
Regicide.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
No, for a second I thought he'd been going around killing his superior officers.
No, that's I wish I had thought about that when I wrote this. No, I just wanted to give him something a little cool, like little cool tidbit to make him a more interesting person than just.
Well, you talked about he wasn't the original person I'd left in charge.
No,
I was thinking, okay.
No, I apologize. That's on me. No, Drymos is basically insinuating that this motherfucker is a nasty fucking player. He's difficult to beat at chess.
Intellectual.
Yes.
A strategic mind.
We do have a resident expert of regicide on board. I'm sure he can be made available should you wish for a challenge, Captain.
I look forward to such arrangements, and perhaps one night sharing a board with you, my Lord Captain. If I may be so.
If we were to play a game of strategy, I think that a game of Warhounds and Titans is my preference.
I have heard of this game. And then Andrymos immediately just looks at you. "Please, gentlemen, such heretic filth should not be played in my presence."
She's not good at it.
It implies that there are other means of war besides what the Cult Imperialis and oh god, help me out here. Rabut Guilliman put on paper. The Imperial Codex, I think, is the word I'm looking for.
The Codex
Warhounds are in fact an Imperial
Titan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Titan Legions.
I think she implies that there is a certain level of well, there's obviously a fictitious element to it that implies that the God Emperor is not the God Emperor. And I think that's where she's at. Even though the game goes to great lengths to try to hide that or mask it, there is a certain implication of that.
I thought it was
this would be new to me.
Sorry?
This would be news to me that this game suddenly has that element. You're asking us if this game has this. We invented this game just as our way of having
in that case, I apologize, and you do get a somewhat scorning or scolding look from Andrymos, but it's not. It's more of a chess is clearly the better alternative.
I was gonna say, I was like, oh, you play the thing that those weirdo
those nerds play that game.
Those Titan Knights play.
A Titan cosplay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, to be clear, I'm not knocking on anybody that does any sort of cosplay. I just thought it would be funny to.
Look, this is not the time to make fun of my Titan Sona.
That's fair.
Fair.
At any rate, at some point, Andrymos then looks to the final member of her party, and says, "And of course, my Lord Captain, you do remember the Lord Regent Marcellus Thale. And at this point, Thale steps forward and offers his hand and a dipped head. He says, "My lord, a pleasure to be under your service once." Or he already serves at you, so he wouldn't say that. Certain words of acquiescence.
In your presence once more.
Yes, in your presence. He uses polite words to express that he is overjoyed to be here again.
I'm overjoyed to have you, as your replacement has not been doing well.
Part of the reason why I insisted. And when he says that, he looks at Winter and then back to you again. He says, "Yes, unfortunately have heard. Part of my insistence, after all, was I gave you, as it turns out, essentially a too curious, faulty placement for." In my absence,
May I do have a point of curiosity, Master Thale.
Yes, my lord.
Your replacement, he was on board he was in the capital.
Yes.
Prior to being placed aboard this ship. How did he become to be more severely infected than the rest of us?
It is my understanding. He kind of looks around to Winter and the Inquisitor, and then also to the Magos.
My question, I'm going to, while he's looking around, I'm going to ask, is there some sort of artifact on the surface of our planet that I have not been made aware of?
There is not, my Lord Captain. My theory, and this theory has been confirmed by, or I shouldn't say confirmed, what's the word I'm using here? This theory is substantiated or supported by the Lady Inquisitor, the Astropath, and Magos here. Most likely, Yonko Bar encountered remnants of that artifact shortly after coming aboard the vessel. Probably, as I'll be honest, at one point I definitely recommended that he familiarize himself with as much of the ship as possible in order to understand its workings and the crew therein. It is entirely possible that shortly after his arrival, he simply became patient zero, as it were, before anybody else was aware that there was a problem. I will note that while you may not have had enough opportunity to understand him as well as I did, he was of a curious mind. To that point, somewhat faulty, his belief systems, and for that shortcoming, I do apologize.
We can discuss his belief systems at a later date, not in the presence of such auspicious individuals.
As he totally does not look at the Lady Inquisitor, I'm sure. As you wish, my lord. And then, as you move to make way, or to walk away from the hangar, to Death Watch,
I've already invited everyone to the bridge for the transition to the warp.
You're going to go into the warp now. Excellent. Okay. In that case,
do we still have the mind link open?
No. The mind link dropped. If it was open, it dropped.
Okay.
Abruptly, I might.
When
the Lady Inquisitor, quote unquote, met or briefly spoke with Winter.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I figured.
I love the fact that I'm dropping these tiny hints and you guys are picking up on things that I'm not sure if I was ready picking up on. At any rate, you head on up to the bridge, and wherever the Lady Inquisitor goes, the two Death Watch Marines follow very. Thump, 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 thump is what you hear of their ceramite armor boots on the deck plating.
I'm shooting the Lord Captain a message that his prime subordinates' chances of survival are very low.
Yes. Well, at this point, I have attempted to mind link with someone, I assume, and have noticed that the mind link is no longer functioning. And I'm going to ask to speak to Winter for a moment. And we are going to step aside into some sort of side space as the rest of the group moves forward.
Sure.
As the instant message bedings in your Oculus.
Oh, no, wait. My Lord
No, I've got a
Captain.
custom one. It's more of a guitar twang.
Oh, several notes, or is it just a single chord?
Wrong.
Yeah. Winter has no problem following you into a side space for a brief moment, and stands before you with her head lowered a little bit in deference. Says, "My Lord Captain, serve you."
Winter, you have been a loyal subject, but I must ask, have you now or at any point worked for the Inquisition in addition to your duties on board my ship?
Um, with respect and deepest apologies for any offense I may have offered, Captain, I have been your astropath, telepath, transcend, whatever the friggin' title is.
Astropath Transcendent.
Thank you. However, have been an agent of the Lady Inquisitor for some time. My role here was to simply report on things for her, keep her informed as to your comings and goings. Not so much spying on you per se, although obviously to some extent, great extent, depending on situations, I was required to provide information activities. More of a method by which to keep an eye on the Xenos situation. It was also later determined that with the ongoing issues with Yunko Bar and what we later determined to be an infestation of a Xenos origin turned out to actually be something of a boon. That said, I am a loyal member of your crew and loyal to you, and have, as of a few moments ago, been released from inquisitorial duty.
Well, should you ever be asked to resume them, since you know that my loyalty to the Emperor is unquestioned, for my sake, I ask that you forward whatever reports you send to any Inquisitor to me as well.
I must, my Lord Captain, I was not aware of this particular aspect till just now. If I am, as you say, reactivated, there is a good chance I will not be aware that I'm acting in service of. It is a psychological hypnotic profile, for lack of a. When
Understood.
the Lady Inquisitor whispered in my ear a moment ago, it unlocked restrictions, or perhaps locked restrictions back into place.
He's
I am
a
aware.
sleeper.
I am aware of
She's
it
been-
now. Prior to this, I was not. In fact, I have no memory of actively communicating telepathically with anybody, but I have the memory of having done things of that. Basically, what she's trying to say, she can't remember specific conversations, but she knows conversations took effectively. She knows that she's done it. She just doesn't know specifically what was said.
She's
She's
been
a sleeper
Chigoris
agent.
candidated.
Say that again, Warner.
Said she's been Chigoris candidated.
Sure. I don't know if I was thinking something closer to Manchurian, but I don't know if that's.
Yeah, well, Chigoris is the homeworld of the White Scars.
And the White Scars are Marines, Space Marines,
Space
rather.
Marines with a Mongol feel.
Okay.
Their Primarch was Jagatai Khan.
He's using something equivalent to Manchuria in the universe to say that she's
Mm.
been Manchuria candidated.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah. But so basically, like, she is now aware that she was doing these things, whereas before, every now and again, she would basically, in a catatonic state, report, and then end the report, and then resume normal function with no memory of having made those. Now, she is aware that she has done these things. She just doesn't have memory of the actual conversations themselves. She just knows that she's.
Grabs Would You Rather lapel. What do the numbers mean?
Okay, lost. God, who wrote that show? Who's the? Well, that's not important. But yes, and she says
People who didn't know where they were going.
It was a J.J. Abrams thing.
that sounds right. Yeah,
Mystery
J.J.
box.
Yep. But yeah, after a moment, as she explains some of these things, she just simply stops for a second. She looks at you and she says, "My Lord Captain, I understand if you feel in some way betrayed. I wish that I could reassure you as much as humanly possible that my loyalty remains with you, has always been with you. It does seem that perhaps in this way that it is possible for one person to serve two masters, but for now, I am down to a single master. That is you. If
I will. May I ask, should certain specialists be made available to us in our journeys, would you like to know for certain that your mind is yours from now on?
I'm not sure what you are asking.
If people with the right mental and medical knowledge are available, would you like to make sure that whatever was done to you to create this second persona is removed, excised, and that you do not have to be worried about having been taken control of outside of your will in the future by anyone?
My Lord Captain, I have seen the brilliant golden light myself. My faith in him, service to him. There is nothing. If in that service I am to be of multiple minds, servant to multiple masters, then so be it. I would not change it. My service, my mind, has been exemplary, or at the very least, in his.
I can't 100%, this is above the table, I can't 100% speak for Rodance, but
Mhm.
literally one of her traits is that she doesn't like to be forced to do anything against her will.
I had a feeling that there might be an issue.
She has.
Particular
She even has to make a willpower save to not be violent.
Yeah.
What's her willpower?
It's
Quite
high.
high.
She'd probably make it, but
Yeah.
it's
Well, let's
like
just
Quite
roll
it's
this
high.
dice and see what happens.
No, I'm
Yeah, no,
offering
she's
her.
good. She's good. I think there's a part of her that does, because I think the way I presented that, where because she has seen the Emperor in person, for lack of a better way to explain it, because she is, her eyes are burned out and
Sanctioned.
all that stuff,
Yeah.
soulbound, etc. Like, her faith in the God Emperor is absolute. It's not even a question of faith anymore. It's just a question of what can she do to serve him. And because this wasn't exactly her normal behavior and she would rail against it, I think because it's in service to him, it's the only exception, if that makes any
Okay.
sense at all.
then
And I realize this is I'm definitely hijacking somebody's character that has left the group, but and added an element
my
to
only
but
my what I'm offering and what I would be suggesting via conversation possibly later on is that simply because this time it appears that the Inquisitor has been serving the purposes of the Empire or the Emperor, there may be an Inquisitor in the future who does not have the best interest of the Imperium
I see
and
where you're
could
going with this.
force her to betray the Emperor without her even knowledge of it.
Correct. And that'll be an interesting story element to explore should we end up in that position. I'll have to keep that in mind. I had a feeling that there would be something in her character concept, at least, that I might bump against. But I needed a way to make some of these things make sense. So,
Okay.
That said, she basically does say, yeah, no, if my service has been always, in his light, and there, I'm good the way I am. But there is, I think, maybe we'll add in like an extra layer of like, not necessarily trepidation or reservation, but some extra layer of, as long as I know I'm doing the right thing, I don't have a problem with this. But if I ever realize I'm doing something wrong, I'm going to cause some problems. And she doesn't necessarily come right out and say that, but you, probably knowing her a little bit better, can probably read that in some of her body language.
Well, because of her character's psychological profile, all of my orders to her have always been requests. So like even like direct orders are some direct orders, incarceration, being forced to do something against her will, or even forced to do something that normally would be in her will. All of those are things that she would not like.
Right.
She's expressed that to me directly in the past. So just
okay. Yeah, no, that's definitely something I need to keep in mind. And I knew there was something that was missing.
So
We can-
there might be an internal conflict to explore later of
maybe once she
I-
realizes specific things that she's done, that she's like, ooh, maybe I wouldn't have done.
it would more like F you for forcing me to do that. Her character's a little more edgy than having a realization of I did this thing I didn't like. It would be more like a raging against the doing something that she or being forced to do anything. But that's my take on it.
She would not go gentle into that good night.
No, she would.
Infernal Gateway.
Unless there's anything else, by the way, either in this particular scene or just in general, we can move on to the reception dinner.
Yes. Well, I mean, we go to the bridge. We're preparing.
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
The warp.
We probably. I mean, we're not going to do any rolls, so we could.
Oh, you don't
again-
want to do the warp. You don't want to do the warp transit tonight.
No, we're just not going to like. I'm going to have whenever there is time in the warp, I'm going to have specific scenes that either indicate or if there's going to be any sort of challenge or issue, they will be scripted as opposed to randomly. From now on,
Yes, well,
whenever you guys go in the warp, unless I have something specific to happen, you have a fairly smooth warp transition. It's
Well,
just
we're
going to
going
be a
to the-
matter of rolling to like see how many days it takes.
The by the way, the Paralos is being left to the Paralos is being left to escort the
XIC?
escort the two damaged vessels back to the capital world while we continue on with the severed hand.
Okay. And I'm assuming you are going to Alpha Henedy?
Well, since they've come to us from the capital planet, and we no longer need to go to Footfall to inform the Inquisitor of what's been happening, which would have been one of my next steps,
Correct.
then I suppose we could have some discussion over state to determine if, in fact, the Inquisitor wishes to meet the problem head on at Alpha Henedy, or whether she wishes to take a different tack.
Okay.
So we might have dinner before we go to warp.
Yeah, that might be the better course of action. Because she does intimate that she wants to have dinner and then rest for the evening, and then in the morning a conference, which can be your big strategies. For lack of a better, it won't actually be that big.
Well,
big.
I will ask her as we are going to the bridge or wherever we're now going.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly in the stateroom. If her strategy session involves a direct course for Alpha Henedy, or if she has a variety of options upon which to consider.
She smiles and, Lord Captain, you are persistent. I'll give you that. I don't want to pull the entire cat out of the. If I open the bag to show you the cat would be shaped much like.
We will set course immediately and discuss strategy en route.
Very well.
We take the. What title did you give her? The lady of the order.
She is simply a sister chatelaine. They are typically. I looked this up. They are typically referred to as sister chatelaine. But she is a sister.
They.
I'm sorry?
You make it sound like they are an entity rather than an
they
individual.
is in the order.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, we will go through our rituals. We will make sure the sister is invited to a place of prominence in the primary chapel. Upon, I'm assuming, which of the command staff are present, as we make the offerings and pray to the Emperor for a safe journey, and we create the visage of death. The visage of death as a recognition that we might not come out the other end, and that everyone attacked to our ship's hull is a reminder of a fate escaped.
After she sees how this ritual is conducted, her turn to provide the specifics.
Guilt.
She happily provides a pieces of gold. I think you just said
Guilt.
Gelt. Yes, sorry. And smiles as she hands them to you specifically. She says, "By the Emperor's blessings, that we persist through."
The ceremony continues, and the skull with ovals in the eyes is placed in a position of prominence as we in multiple chapels as we prepare for the journey.
One brief moment, please. Yeah. So she happily gives up. Like I said, she gives up the coin. We enter into the warp, and then she is all smiles. But you probably, after a little while, begin to realize that the smile is more of a disarming feature, as opposed to an actual expression. If that makes any sense.
Yep.
Facade.
Facade is a great word. I don't know why I didn't think of it first. Probably because I in between texts and running a show and being all at once. So, that said, we do fast forward to dinner. To be clear, though, we are entering the warp, so I am going to make a skill roll really quick to check one or two things. Give me just a second here. This book. There we go. Let's see. Stability. Actual duration. Challenging navigation warp against basically 100. Remember right? So we'll call that no less than 6 degrees of success. That number. This is open. But I don't need those. I don't need that particular form sheet. All right, from here to there takes that. Let's see, what does this number? 18. Excellent. You enter warp, and shortly after the warp is entered and the ship's flight through the warp is, we'll say, stabilized, or cruising altitude and velocity, whatever terms they need to be, you get a report back from Anastasia indicating that you are expecting 18 days in. Dinner is served. You're, in fact, at one point, after all the formal reception stuff, Lady Andrymos actually does say that she is, in fact, looking forward to the culinary stylings of your peculiar Ogren chef, though she cannot remember his name. And she is curious to see what he has planned for this evening's dinner.
I inform them that the J is pronounced as an H in the Ogren language.
F the chef.
That said, Jeff, having been appraised of the Lady Inquisitor's arrival and instructed to prepare a lavish meal for her in a fairly short order of about 4 hours, has just the thing prepped by the time dinner is to be held, a 7-course meal, starting with appetizers, finger sandwiches. Now, let me explain. Small pieces of bread, cheese, and thinly sliced pieces of meat shaped as fingers, arranged 6 to a plate and shared by 2 people, with a red sauce, a yellow sauce, and a blue dipping sauce arranged on these plates that are to be shared by 2 people. I will ask if you don't remember. That's totally fine. I may not have remembered entirely accurately as well. So maybe tonight's red, yellow, and blue dipping sauce flavors are different from previous. But who would like to go after which color? Just so I can describe the flavor profile.
I am going to be a terrible person to you and say I take a little of the red and a little blue and I make a purple dipping sauce.
Okay, well, you end up with a weird smattering of something with a mild tomato flavored. There's a little bit of extra spice in the red that just adds a little bit more body to the flavor, but then you are absolutely smacked by the spicy hot and strangely freezing cold all at once from the blue sauce.
Icy hot now with tomato.
You know what? I didn't even think about icy hot, but that's basically what's going to be now. It's just you're eating icy hot, except it's edible.
It's a chili
Wait.
pepper, where chili with an I.
Yeah,
It's a chili
yeah.
pepper
It's-
with a
it-
Y.
It's a menthe capsaicin combo.
Wish I knew the word was used.
So
Um,
mint
Uh-huh.
has a chemical in it called menthol that
Ah,
has a cooling property, and capsaicin is the thing in peppers that grants the heat.
I see. Yeah, I think there's like equal parts of that, but they are like both profoundly potent in their own
Oh, hey.
separate applications. As
If we'd let the Kroot live, they wouldn't have been able to taste the capsaicin.
no,
Yeah, because they're lizardy.
don't get it.
Lizardy.
Lizards aren't affected by capsaicin.
Ah, okay.
And now we know.
Is anybody trying the yellow? You don't have to. I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing you to try the yellow. Skip the yellow.
It's just mustard.
Reinhardt
it's honey
will-
mustard.
Reinhardt will absolutely have 3 separate cups with the 3 sauces, and he'll
Uh-huh.
be trying
His
each
see,
of them
the
separately.
3 fingers that you consume, each has a different flavor on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. So yeah, you do get the mild tomato with extra spice for extra body, and then of course you have the icy hot mix, and then the yellow is a spicy hot, but it has a creamy coat your mouth texture, kind of like mayonnaise, and then it closes with a waft of smoky flavoring.
Oh.
So it's Raisin Cane sauce.
If that's what you want to go with, sure. After some time, the second course comes out. It is an avian bone broth thickened with cornstarch into a creamy soup and chased with flecks of green, red, and purple vegetable choppings. The overall flavor palette is a smooth, creamy, savory medley. The third course, unless somebody wants to get into anything in particular in between courses.
I pour a little bit of red sauce into my soup.
Sure. You should try to go with some chicken noodle soup with tomato sauce added.
Yeah.
Finally, the third course comes out, and Jeff makes a bit of a description of this particular dish. I'm not going to do the Ogren bit because I cannot carry, especially with some of these words.
Oh.
He says the third dish is a pan-seared Omarician black shark cutlets, drizzled with honey oil and crumbly cheese. The Omarician black shark is a shark found only in the deepest of the cold southern oceans of Omaris, which is, of course, your domain's primary agri-world. Honey oil is exactly what you think it is. It is honey that has an oily texture, as opposed to honey with honey texture. And then the crumbly cheese. Imagine something like feta. Loose clumps
Blue?
of Parmesan, perhaps. Or blue, even. Again, I give you the option of intermingling as you see fit at this point between courses. Or I can move on to the next dish.
I'm just sitting there drinking Nutra paste.
Nutra paste.
or whatever it is.
I
It's
feel like
the
you can still
tastiest.
consume these things, if I'm not mistaken. You just
It's not efficient.
it is not efficient. No, your NutriPaste goes probably much more quickly into your internal organs and not organs, but like into your biology beyond the diet.
Many binary transferences have you had with the um biologists?
Well, sorry, go ahead.
There's probably been gossip chatter because I imagine that
Yeah.
did you see that fucking new model of whatever? Oh, it's terrible. What are the
Ha-
idiots on Mars thinking?
has he seen your servo skull?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Probably not.
Is
It's
is
fine.
any of your serval skulls around? You have
Archimedes
three.
and Archimedes, Pythagoras, and I forget the third one's the
The Wikipedia one. That's
Yeah, you
not its
gave him
name.
a
I forget what its name.
that one's not coming out because that is mine and he's not allowed to see it.
Okay, that's fair.
I thought it would have been following you around the ship. Oh,
Which is actually unfortunate because the Wikipedia serval skull could absolutely be giving you multiple articles about the various dishes and things therein, talking about the Omarician black shark and how it has a certain life expectancy, but if the temperature of the water change even slightly, it either lives longer or dies immediately, depending on which
and
way the
how its
temperature goes.
bloodstream is heavily filled with basically urine.
What's that?
Well, there's an Arctic shark here whose bloodstream is filled with its own urine as a form of antifreeze.
Oh no shit! I did not know that. That's as disturbing as that it sounds the way you described it. That is an interesting survival mechanism.
Yeah,
That
it's
said,
it's not advised for folks to eat shark meat with that much urea in it.
probably not. Probably not.
Oh, is that the Greenland shark?
By the way,
Yes.
I will be partaking of all three of the dishes.
Oh, the dipping
sauces?
sauces.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Our fourth course is a palate cleanser sorbet, and Jeff describes this as one of his favorite treats: a small scoop of green goo sorbet. Now, these are his words, provided by his mother's own culinary, comprised of gelled sweetgrass, frozen, and then sweetened with a drizzle of honey oil and raw cane sugar, then frozen again and served as a scoop in a small bowl of ice. As it melts, the ice and the green goo sorbet mix without becoming watered down to provide a soft mint-like palate cleansing effect.
Yes. So I am privately confirming with Jeff the chef that this does not contain any orc.
He actually looks a bit offended, but quickly covers it with a quick nod and says, "Of course not, below. We don't eat that bullshit around here." He does not. I don't think he would use those words exactly, but the message he conveys is absolutely, "The fuck are you thinking?"
It would probably be more like grok slop.
Yeah, sure.
Grox is the
Oh
the
yeah.
cow.
Yeah, this is definitely not. Like, this is the way I explained. Like, this goo is made from sweetgrass that is gelled, and then they freeze the gel. Then they let it melt a bit and add the honey oil and raw cane sugar, and then freeze it again and serve it in a scoop with a small bowl of.
It's an iced cream.
I'm sorry.
It's an iced cream.
It kind of is. It's kind of where I was going with it. The main course is then brought in. It is a large cart wheeled in. I want you to imagine for a moment a cart similar to a baggage cart that you might find at like a hotel or airport, right? Except on the floor of the cart is a large portable open flame stove. I'm talking like open flame, exactly like it's got charcoal and wood in the big pan or whatever, and it's burning. You can see the smoke and heat coming off of it. And hanging from the top piece is just this massive chunk of meat. Your main course is Omarician death Death Boar Prime Rib Roast. That's a lot of words, I'm sorry. And Jeff goes on to explain that the Omarician Death Boar is a wild porcine found in the remaining wild woods reserves on Omaris. It is known for an increased intellect and deadly territorialism. The hunts for these animals are known to often leave multiple casualties, and bringing one down is actually sometimes used as a rite of passage among some of the Omarician native farmholds. This prime rib is served straight from the spine of one of the death boars. Wheeled in on the cart, as I explained, a large pot collects the drippings from the ribs and are ladled back out to keep the meat moist and tender throughout the service. A single rib is served per diner, and the size of that serving is truly massive for a single plate. This is almost like a Flintstone sized chunk of meat being to you. Flintstones. Oh, I don't know if that. No, I think everybody here knows what I'm talking about when I say Flintstones, and I'm definitely not talking about the vitamins.
So you're not
Like almost like a
vitamins.
Bronco or a Bronto burger sort of thing. But it's just
what
like
now?
this is outlandishly large, right? The meat is served ungarnished, unflavored, and other than being cooked, untreated. Its natural flavor is gamey, but not overwhelming, naturally juicy and tender if prepared properly, which is a mark of culinary skill. It has the texture of, when cooked properly, I should say, it has the texture of fall apart in your mouth ribs. So imagine you go for ribs and the bone comes right out and you've got this hunk of meat that's absolutely juicy and tasty. That's exactly what this is, except it is just the meat. There's no barbecue sauce, no additional flavorings or adulterations added. It is just the meat cooked over an open fire, as if you lived out in the woods yourself. There is a hint of smokiness that can be detected, as that was part of the preparation process. But again, these are only traditionally cooked over an open fire. And so now you have this juicy chunk of meat that is delicious. Amazing, I suppose, for not having done anything to it besides keep it over a roasting fire. Or roaring fire, I should say.
Over the main course, I asked both the Lady Inquisitor and the sister if they found any offense with our supplications to the Emperor.
Sister Anit van Heimersmark does not have any issues whatsoever. I think her particular part of the ecclesiarch is a little bit more, let's say, open-minded, I suppose, is one way to phrase it.
Ecumenical, perhaps?
I'm sorry? There's two voices I couldn't quite distinguish.
I'll let Darius go first.
I was going to say liberal.
Liberal's a good word, only because of the scope of what they do. I feel like what they do requires a little bit of flexibility, whereas the Lady Inquisitor is basically, no, there is only the word of the Emperor and nothing else.
Yes, I said ecumenical.
I don't know what that means.
That is a word that is often applied when different denominations of Christianity work together.
Okay.
It was originally used of the councils by which all of Orthodox Christianity decided stuff.
Okay.
But no ecumenical councils have been held for a long time.
Sounds like centuries. Sure. Okay. Yeah. No.
I think it has been centuries.
It has.
Yeah, I was kind of implying, but I meant in like sort of way. Yeah. I think overall, I think Sister Anit is very, I guess forgiving or accepting of the way things are. The Lady Inquisitor, on the other hand, she doesn't specify anything in particular, but definitely there is a slightest bit of disapproval. But overall, general acceptance. So, kind of dual-sided. But, I mean, what do you expect from a Lady Inquisitor who has to have a certain level of decorum applied at all times, as she is an Inquisitor? No one will ever suspect the Inquisition.
Yeah.
Anything else before I move to the next course? We have 2 more to go.
No.
Jeff, by the way, is feeling quite proud of himself, as nobody has complained yet about the service. That said, your as you make your way through your gigantic hunks of meat, then whatever is left is taken away in preparation for the next course. A bed of green leaves. Now, these leaves appear in a similar appearance to bay leaves, but there is a bed of green leaves over which are green, yellow, and purple choppings and a crumbly cheese. Again, feta, blue, etc. And over all of that, a light drizzle of honey oil over the salad combines it in such a way as to once more cleanse the palate before dessert. And then finally, our dessert, cherries, served in a cup of warmed, soft fruit bread, drizzled faintly in chocolate and the blue sauce from earlier.
I will be taking a couple of bites of that, enough to appreciate it, and then leaving the rest.
It was the blue sauce that killed it, huh?
Nope, it was the cherries.
Oh, the cherries. Okay. I honestly am curious. I will never actually do this, I think, but I'm curious to know how this actually would mix. Because I want you to think of something along the lines of like banana bread or fruitcake with cherries and then a drizzling of chocolate and something icy hot. I think it could work if you do it right. Like the proportions.
So the traditional Black Forest cake has chocolate and cherries in it.
Yes. Now
And
add hot sauce.
That is a fantastic thing.
Well,
And
I was just
adding
imagining-
spice to chocolate is absolutely done. Chili
Yes.
chocolate is wonderful.
Yes.
I was picturing chili chocolate with mint.
That's yeah, I can see that. Yeah, a chili chocolate with mint and then like the flavorings of chili or cherries.
I will tell you that mint and cherry do not go together very well.
No.
Which is why I said what I said.
Well, there might be a moment where Jeff is looking really good or feeling really good about his service tonight, and then when dessert comes out, he's like, "Damn it, didn't quite nail dessert."
Yeah.
He does leave, of course, comment cards, and each of the courses are offered a rating scale of 1 being shit and 5 being great, so that for each of the 7 courses you can rate as you feel appropriate. And then you can flip it over for additional comments. And there is a spot for your name, but it does say that right there next to it in parentheses, not required.
Reinhardt will happily sign his name and give his feedback.
As will I. Dessert. Do not mix cherries and mint.
For those that don't know, I'm not sure if this is clear yet. I know nothing about what to do in the kitchen except for to fend for myself and occasionally feed my kid. So we have survived for many years, don't get me wrong, but don't ask for anything culinary. It's going to be, can I throw it in the oven? Can I fry it in a pan?
Pan fry.
Boil it in a pot. That's about the extent of my cooking ability. That said,
Ironically.
I'm sorry?
I said ironically, and I was about to say that I boiled some corned beef yesterday.
The British would like to know your location.
That's how you're supposed to fix corned beef.
I only know that the British, culinarily speaking, tend to boil everything.
Well, for honestly, I'm typically not a big fan of boiled meat, and this came out pretty good.
Unless there's anything else anybody else wants to get at while going through the dinner service, we can move along to the.
I am really surprised that Reinhardt has not attempted to chat up the Marines about their weaponry.
I'm a little surprised that nobody's talked to the Marines either. Mind you, I want to point out, by the way, since the Marines were mentioned, that the 2 Death Watch Marines have stayed in the dining room off to one side, basically flanking the Lady Inquisitor from a distance.
Have they eaten anything?
They won't eat in front of you guys.
Reinhardt does have knowledge of Marines and is trying his very best to be respectful and not fanboy out because he knows that when he was a younger man on one of the crusades against the orcs, he fanboyed out to a group of Marines who promptly ignored him ever after, and so now he's just like, I can learn.
Play cool. Play it cool.
Keep it. He's
Yeah.
my his internal monologue is keep it cool, Reinhardt. Keep it cool, but in a German accent.
Yeah, be
Go,
keeping
little
it
German
cool.
boy.
Lady Inquisitor,
Yes, Master Voidsman.
may I have permission to approach your guards and inspect their accoutrements?
I don't recommend that. And then she looks to the two Marines, and the one with the green armor steps forward.
Of course he does, because salamanders are the closest thing to teddy bears that Marines have.
I don't know if teddy bear is the word you should use for them, but compared to the rest of the Space Marines, teddy bear
Yes.
is, I suppose, slightly applicable. They will still murderize your entire family if they feel the need.
Well, but only if they feel the
Yes,
need.
only
That's-
if. But that does not stop
Yes.
them from murderizing you.
Yes, they will murderize
Yeah.
at need, and they will show great compassion in all other situations.
They will cry about it later.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the one with the green pauldron steps forward. He is the one, if you recall, he has two combat knives on one on either hip, and then across his back is the Space Marine equivalent of a heavy flamer. Literally, brother, pass me the flamer. No,
Yes.
the heavy flamer.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just literally inspecting their armor and their weapons, and I just recently acquired trade armor, so I'm looking for basically little tricks to pull with things like that.
Okay. Do you know what Deathwatch armor looks like?
Should I make a roll?
No, I mean you, the player.
Oh, no.
Okay, let me see. I think there's something on.
Deathwatch Marines are pretty cool.
Their armor is actually pretty.
I did not know which the red pauldron
I was gonna say,
hails
are there
from, because there are lots of reds.
That's fair.
there-
Let me go
are there
with blood red.
Okay.
are there pauldron? Well, that could still be the Blood Ravens, or that could still be like a bunch of chapters.
The inference is Blood Angel, though.
Yes.
I know that, but there's also the Blood Ravens specifically.
Yes, I know. Or
Yeah,
the Blood
these are
Magpies.
Sanguinius' sons.
Still not ruling out Blood Ravens.
Okay, that's fair.
Right.
I just
Blood
posted an image from the
Magpies.
Deathwatch cover into the group chat, so you can
But
see.
what I was going to say is, are there because there are two types of Marines in the Death Watch, and I'm asking this above the table, not in character. Are there pauldrons covered in some respect, or can we see the insignia of their home chapters?
I designed these two to be standard Deathwatch Marines that are seconded to the Deathwatch from their home chapters, and that if I'm not mistaken,
insignia are seen.
correct. They just don't have any particular insignia themselves. These two, because they're, let's say, not necessarily
They're
noteworthy.
pauldrons that have the symbol of their home chapter.
Right. Yeah. So I don't think the salamanders have a symbol specifically, do they?
Yes.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Okay.
It's a
Pretty
salamander.
sure every chapter does.
Yeah, they probably do. Because I think I definitely went for a certain element of, let's see if these guys can figure out which chapters these are, even though my knowledge is obviously very low. But I also went with these guys have just the green and the red pauldron, no additional special extra.
The salamander is a generally green with basically a black dragon head.
Yes, that's fair. I don't know. I know the salamanders in particular have a few different rights as far as like I know, for instance, like they scar themselves as they with certain things or lose things of that. But you wouldn't see that because he has his armor on.
Right.
I don't know what would be on the pauldrons in particular, because I know there's a lot of variety of that.
Well,
but like
they're
different
pauldrons.
companies and different purity seals and things of that nature would be shown. Certainly, I just don't know which.
I just double checked their paint scheme, and just for above the tableness, it's their pauldrons are actually black with either green or gold trim.
Okay, well, My description
most cases.
still barely stands.
I
He does have a pauldron with green on it, so I guess
There you
that's.
go.
The other one definitely is a blood angel, whether by a particular subtle marking on his pauldron or whatever. The other one is standard, stereotypical.
Blood angel.
Of course, other than the Ultramarines, probably the most recognized blood. God damn it, Space Marine chapter. The Blood Angels.
Well, Sanguinius is the golden boy,
Yes, he is.
almost literally.
Literally, the golden boy who sacrificed himself
With wings.
with wings. Although I will say this,
Is his other name Icarus?
No.
Okay.
Darius, go ahead and make me that trade armor whatever roll, but add a -10 because you're looking at Space Marine as opposed to other armor.
Why would that make a difference?
Because Space Marine stuff is made specifically for them. They have been
And comes
genetically
from
altered and are more than human at this point.
And their armor also has from a lost bygone era to it.
Oh. Okay. So what was the difficulty?
-10.
Okay.
And this information is not terribly important. This is just what you can perceive with your limit, with what would otherwise be considered a limited understanding of armor.
And this would be my trade armor.
Yep.
And I'm also I've got a tablet thing out, and I'm making design notes.
There are 2 tech priests that are currently gritting what's left of their teeth while they watch you do this. One of them being Icarus, of course.
Profaning the sacred rites.
Yes.
Profaning what rights?
Knowledge is a privilege and a curse.
And I asked first.
Yeah, you did. You did. That's why they're only gritting their teeth. And the salamander did step forward because salamanders love smithing.
Yeah.
Vulcan is a very metal-heavy world.
What's my int?
Vulcan is
46.
also very metal.
Do you mention anything about smithing, or do you silently examine him?
I will make the occasional comment about smithing. I am using a fate point on this.
Okay. What are you rolling against? That does not look.
Nope. I will re-roll this.
Okay.
I am rolling against a 56.
Okay. If you roll a 94, I'm laughing my ass.
No,
95.
better,
Still not
but
good.
not.
But yeah. So you
Not
look
the
over.
93 it was.
No. You take a few notes, and the Space Marine this whole time stands there, and I want you to imagine a 10-foot tall, heavily, his armor is basically concrete. It's literally called ceramite, which is almost basically concrete. He stands there. I want you to imagine this massive dude standing there with his thumbs hitched into his belt buckle, and he just stands there like that, fully armored, head to toe. Doesn't move the entire time. You make a few comments about some of the things that you do understand about armor smithing and smithing in general.
And I make it clear that I'm a beginner.
Yes. And I think the salamander realizes you're not making any headway in understanding how ceramite armor works or is constructed or anything like that.
I am not familiar with this material.
Yes. And he simply says through his Voxcaster built into his helmet, ceramite is not an easy material to work with for even skilled artisans. And then steps back to his original post. The Inquisitor.
I nod to him and say thank you for your time.
He gives, I want to be clear, he gives no response at all, but it's not from a place of rudeness. Not that would necessarily convey through that wouldn't be easily conveyed through body language of I'm here to guard one person, go fuck yourself, politely.
Yeah.
me see what this image is posted here.
And I note down ceramite.
Yeah, and you probably spell it wrong too, just because.
Eh. It's the 40K universe. I'm sure if I look it up, it'll autocorrect me.
Oh, it will. It will. But I think like in universe, you absolutely spell it wrong. You're low gothic on that word. It's not good. Anything else before we move on from dinner? Icarus, you have a tech priest, and this one looks not just competent, but exceptionally so. You haven't seen one of these in quite some time. It's literally been at least a year since you've been around your own people that were not underlings. There. Serious?
Alterios?
He may be muted.
Probably is. He just. Damn it. I was really trying to keep him involved too. I've tried, guys. I'm trying.
Yep.
Well, he's passed out. He's passed out. Hopefully he's not. No, those are. Oh, yeah, that's a good image too. Right there, what you posted, Warner. Yeah. Death Watch. Oh, those are the actual tabletop models. Nice. Oh, yeah. Blue
Yep.
Smurf, the Blue Smurf Brigade.
Yes, because
Ultramarine.
that's the most played Marine chapter, I'm pretty sure.
It's certainly the one most backed by the company that makes the game. You know,
Especially
the
during
Hans
the Matt
Davian.
Ward era.
They're the Hans Davian of the Warhammer 40K universe. For sure.
Don't you mean Davian Steiner Wolf?
Oh,
I was
well,
actually just gonna say.
currently, yes, it would be some amalgamation of those three factions. Back in my day, god damn, that sounded old as fuck. In my Battletech, it was Hans Davian, damn it. Sometimes Victor Ian Steiner Davian.
I was
Victor.
like, I thought Steiner was sort of the blueberries of the.
Well, Blueberry, sure, but I was thinking more of like the franchise default figurehead.
Yeah.
Certainly, the Ultramarines are that for.
Is it that Tex says about House Steiner, or not Steiner, House Davian, that they are insufferable and self-righteous and often still not the worst house. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, at least you're not a Capellan. I mean, that's the general gist of what I hear so much about Battletech.
You know what? That's a compelling reason not to or to support Steiner.
Wait, what?
I said that's a compelling reason to support Steiner.
Oh, because you're not Capellan?
Or Davian.
Or Davian. This is also, by the way, this is why I went Merrick. For Intersphere factions, this is why I went Merrick.
God,
and then once
Merrick
the Word of
is
Blake
so
came out, I was
horrible.
like, I'm going Word of Blake. Fuck you guys. I love playing the bad guy.
What did you say, Lucian, about Merrick?
Merrick is so horrible.
They're the closest thing to an actual democracy in the entire Intersphere.
And if you look at the map of 3151,
yeah, I know,
they have
I know,
fallen apart
I know.
completely.
We don't talk about 30. If we don't talk about anything after the Dark Ages, okay? We don't talk about anything after Jessica Merrick.
After the Civil War era.
We don't talk about the Free Worlds League after the Jihad, okay? We have one moment in Jessica Merrick didn't quite pull it off because, I don't know, deals with wolves. Anyway, we're way off base. That is all we. I do feel like this is the best point to end it because the next scene will start next week with our big strategy session. Come the following morning. Let's do a little around the horn for some. Oh, I forgot to give you 200 experience points.
Yay!
Excuse me. Somebody please make a note to ensure that Alterios knows his character got 200 points.
Yeah, I am noting it right now in the group chat.
And then starting with Rev, feedback and outro comments. What do you got?
Oh, not much tonight.
I think we had some good stuff, even though it was...
Yeah, I meant nothing too much.
Any thoughts on the preparation of an official 7-course
Um,
and the wild
So-
Warhammer-ish related food you got?
So what prompted some of your menu choices?
I honestly, one of them, I just needed to put food in. Like, I've been planning this particular sequence for a while, as far as the severed hand showing up with Marcellus Thale and the Lady Inquisitor, and the fact that Winter was the one that coordinated. I've been planning that for a while. And I thought about it as, what happens when you receive a distinguished guest aboard the ship? There's usually some sort of reception or dinner. So, well, if we're going to do a reception or dinner, it's going to have to be a 7-course meal. And we also haven't had Jeff on screen for some time now. And so, yeah, 7-course dinner. I cannot get around it. I do a 7-course dinner. So I actually looked up the 7 courses in this dinner according to the French tradition. I believe it was French tradition. I may have gone something more streamlined, modernized, French specific, but I looked it up, and based on the information I found, made some decisions based on that. For instance, actually, I gotta pull my notes back up. Oops. Where? So the first course, of course, is the appetizer, and I thought one thing I wanted to do was continue the tradition of Jeff providing a dinner that has puns and things of that nature thrown in. For instance, the upside down pineapple grenade cake, or whatever the first meal was that I don't remember what it was. And so the best thing I could come up with, especially with trying to come up with 7 of these and knowing I was not going to get all 7, finger sandwiches that were literally shaped like fingers.
Yep.
That was the best thing I could come up with. So they were literally finger sandwiches. And then, of course, I had to add a little craziness to it. So 6 of them, and then they're shared between 2 because I knew 6 is actually one of the numbers of chaos, if I'm not mistaken. So I was like, let's break that down. I was also making a bit of a joke on, like, cartoon hands, for some reason, always have 4 fingers instead of 5. And I think it's because of animation resourcing. I don't understand the whole thing. I just know that whenever you looked at an old school animation, it was usually a 4-fingered hand. So I was like, I'm not doing 4. We're going 6. But then I was like, shit, 6 is a number of... I think it's Nurgle, but don't quote me on that. So I was like, well, then they'll just split it between 2 people, and that'll take... And then your next course is the soup, and I was like, well, chicken noodle soup, but let me break it down and use some strange terms. So I was like, avian bone broth with corpse starch to thicken it up and make it into a creamy soup instead of just a soup, because it was it's either a soup or a potage, and I believe a potage is like a creamy thicker than a soup. Don't quote me again, I'm not a culinary expert. And the next dish was fish, and I was like, well, let's incorporate elements of the domain, because you guys would be getting food from the domain worlds. Omaris would be your agro world, so why would you not be getting food items from there? I was like, well, let me come up with a fish and make it something cool sounding and death sounding. So you have the Omarisian black shark that lives in the deepest, coldest waters of the planet. And then the cleanser sorbet. I recently, in one of my doom scrolling sessions, there was a video clip, some chef teaching another chef how to make some really high-end, fancy gelatinous dessert thing that starts with taking some sort of, like, not necessarily aloe, but something similar to it, and just mashing the bejesus out of it until it becomes a gel. And I was like, I had that image in my head, and I just kind of ran with it. Like sweetgrass, gelled, and then frozen, and then thawed and frozen some more. Of course, the Death Boar prime rib. I found it amusing because somebody said prime rib roast or whatever it was earlier in the intro bit. And I was like, that's coincidental. And if you didn't catch it, this is why I said that was coincidental foreshadowing.
I caught it. I caught it. I wasn't. I kind of wondered if you changed your dish around just because I cooked prime rib roast.
No, I literally typed this out on Saturday. I think no Sunday because I worked Saturday. So when I prepped this as the Omarician Death Boar prime rib, and I didn't go into what the animal actually looked like. This is a death boar the size of a fucking cow.
Yeah.
It's a big animal. So I want you to imagine an angry, pissed off boar the size of a cow. That's also very now. I realize boars typically like German boars is what I keep thinking of. That's not an actual animal specifically, but like in Europe, boars are a big problem. A lot of open wild areas.
I was gonna say you do realize down here in Texas, boars can get to the size of almost a cow.
Well, and that's what I was going with. It was just these boars that are just big, territorial, angry, ornery cusses of problems, and then also make them really smart. So on Omaris, these handful of death, that's why they're called death boars. If you go to fuck with one, you're probably going to die. Unless you know what you're doing.
As a fan of paleontology and ancient animals, have you heard of the Daeodon?
I have not, but I'm curious.
The common name for the Daeodon is the hell pig.
Or
I've
the
heard of the
Hellboar.
dodecahedron.
There's also the Hellboar from BattleTech, well, MechWarrior Online, but please continue.
So it is a giant meat-eating pig relative, although not like super close to pigs, but close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades.
The ancestry of Miss Piggy.
Moving on. After the main course, you get a salad, which I thought was interesting because usually, like in America, when you go to a restaurant, usually you get salad first. If you get salad at all, that is. But again, doing the research, it says cheese, like a cheese salad sort of thing was typically next. Usually another palate cleanser, and then you get your dessert, which I just kind of had to kind of shit out. Hope it. I didn't even know about the whole mint and would you say mint and chocolate?
Mint chocolate, mint and cherries don't really go together.
Mint and cherries don't go with. Yeah, I didn't think about that particular aspect. I tried to make some flavor option choices, descriptions that kind of made sense, especially in a Warhammer universe. But again, I'm not a chef or anything of the sort, so.
Well, mint chocolate and chili chocolate is a thing, but I don't think anybody's ever made mint chili chocolate.
You know what? I imagine that somebody could, if they knew what they were doing and got the right proportions of different flavor things.
Flavor profiles.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Chocolate covered mint chili cherries.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I would try it. I don't know if I would enjoy it or not, but I would try it. It doesn't sound terrible. I mean, it doesn't sound like that one fruit that comes out of like the Philippines or Indonesia that, depending on what day of the week it is, tastes like shit or does not. Durian, that's it.
Durian?
Durian, yes, Durian. That's it. I was so close. I was so damn close. I said it so confidently too. I don't know where exactly it comes from. I want to say it's the Philippines or Indonesia or somewhere in the South Pacific.
It comes from just the Indochina generally.
Yeah, and I've tried it, and it was explained to me that you've got about a 50-50 chance of which flavor you get. It's just a matter of how your brain is wired, I think. Because there are people that swear by it, and there are people like, nope. And I was like, yep, no, that tastes like dumpster juice.
Yeah, I have the genetics that basil, a lot of the species of basil taste like dishwater to me.
That sucks.
I looked it up to see if I was just weird. It's a known thing that like basil can taste like dirty soapy water.
Did I ban this guy once already?
How do you ban somebody twice?
No, I must have. So somebody did pop up, but he never actually showed up in the stream. But I could see him from the moderator side, and I click on him, and it's like unban somebody. I'm like, no, why would I unban him? Nice try coming back though, guy.
So I posted a picture of the Daeodon skeleton and then an artist rendering in the chat.
Yes.
For size reference, That head is about 3 feet long,
That's a big dome.
and those shoulders are about 5 3/4 feet off the ground.
About 6 feet
So-
at the shoulder. That's a big freaking animal.
That is your
It's like
hell
the size
pig.
of a horse.
That is your
at least.
Deodon.
Yeah, and that's basically a boar. That's about the size of a horse, but lots and lots of anger. Nice.
Omnivorous,
And with
so it won't
a
eat just
armored
meat.
spine.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
All right, I've got to get going.
okay. Do you have any feedback, outro comments you want to throw? Because I didn't get a chance to actually ask you.
I enjoyed the descriptions of the meal.
Good.
Was a little disconnected, and I do apologize about that. I was playing taxi.
Well, sometimes shit happens. There's not much you can do about it. I get it.
Yep.
I do appreciate you attempting to stick it out and accommodate the fact that there's other people popping in the background and whatnot. So.
Right. I muted myself for most of the trip
Yeah.
to pick her up from the gym.
Yep. No worries. No worries. If you got to get out of here, though, go ahead and get out of here. Let me see if
Yep.
Alturios is awake or has anything to say. I don't know if we're going to get anything from him.
Take care, guys.
All right. Have a good one.
See
man.
ya.
Night, Darius.
Good night.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Warner. And if Alturios pops in, he pops in. Warner, what do you got feedback and outro comments besides what's already been thrown out? Or actually just whatever your comments are.
So I enjoyed the tension of the what the hell is going to happen now that the Inquisition is here? That felt right,
Good.
and I appreciate that. I sort of feel like, how to phrase this? If you want people, and I know that you did this a little bit, but if you want people to engage in something, you may have to drop a little bit heavier hints to us.
Mm-hmm.
The more, and I know that being open GM and letting things be sort of natural always sounds best, but I don't think that we're all instantly keying in on hints for, this is a place for your character to interact.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I know with Alturios, you did, say, hey, there's another tech priest here for you to talk to. Do you want to do anything?
Of
But
course,
just,
I think he was asleep by that point, but
through the course of the thing, if there's any place that you want us to engage, you don't even have to hint at it. You can just say, hey, this is something that I expected so-and-so to engage with. And, we'll learn.
Yeah. Well, I do have some content where the two of you in particular, Reinhardt and Icarus, will have NPCs approaching them. We just hadn't quite got to that point yet. So we were in the kind of in the round moment where, hey, if there's anything else, if not, let's move to the next course or the next event.
And that's fine.
That said, like, I am trying to incorporate things for you guys who kind of tend to linger off in the side somewhere. Which,
appreciated.
Spoken out loud, seems weird that Reinhardt is one of those that lingers in the side somewhere. But outside of, like, having something to shoot and kill, that's kind of where Reinhardt ends up, is off on the side somewhere.
Well, and when being consulted about enemies and stuff, I have tried to bring him forward several times and have his character be a character, but he's not going to be particularly socially adroit.
Right.
So unless there was another character, a non-marine character that was militant.
Listen, nobody's saying you can't go up to the Space Marine and be like, "Hey, bro, what's up, man? Give me some knuckles. Give me some
yeah,
that."
but but Reinhardt would not do that.
No, he absolutely. I don't think anybody would.
But yeah, if there were another person who were, the bodyguard, bounty hunter, or even Arbides type character,
Yeah.
then he might sidle up and be like, "Cool gun you got there. What's up?
Hey,
What
are we
what
best
do you
friends
do?"
now? Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Damn it! I was gonna say something and I forgot. So actually, Alterios made this comment last night, and it was in relation to how Warhammer Fantasy is set up versus how Trader is set up, and obviously the design process is slightly different in these two games.
Mhm.
One comes from the FFG world of thought, we'll say, and the other one comes from Cubicle 7 frame of brain. I don't know. There's a word, I can't think of it, but and basically what he said was that in Rogue Trader, you're kind of pretty hardcore coded to your particular role as a character, whatever that role may be, right? For instance, you are absolutely the shooty type person because you're the arch militant, and then your tech priest is usually pretty well coded to being, for all intents and purposes, the chief engineer of the ship. And unfortunately, a lot of times those two circles don't overlap. But in Warhammer Fantasy, what he was noting was that regardless of your character class, there is a lot of potential room for overlap, which is almost entirely scenario driven, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because even though you're a magic user, or even though you're a sneaky type, you could still easily work hand in hand on the same freaking thing and have plenty of overlap. Whereas in this game, from what he was saying, it's pretty hard coded where you're at, and so I hadn't really made that distinction on a conscious level previously. So when he pointed it out, I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. Realize there, because I hadn't thought. That said, I am trying to incorporate all of you guys at the table. I feel bad that sometimes people aren't getting as much. Even in one of my other games, in the Alien game, there's a character or a player that, for whatever reason, is, despite best efforts and intentions and everything else, his character is usually just kind of hanging out in the background. But he's also the captain of his ship as well. It's just the focus of that story is not exactly on the captain of the ship as it is on the people doing things. Whereas the reverse is true here. The game is literally the rogue trader and then everybody else is support character. Which isn't always an easy pill to swallow for some players. Fortunately for you guys, most of you seem okay with that, especially when the GM actually succeeds at giving you stuff to work.
Well, in anything, we could create more intra-party dynamics and stuff like that. I don't know that we've been highly motivated to do that just yet,
right.
but that's partially on us. And so if you have the feedback of, hey, when I leave open space, I really am expecting you guys to interact with each other and blah blah blah.
I would love that, but I also don't want to. I don't want to feel that way, and I don't want any of y'all to feel like that you have to do something on the spot. And so that's why I kind of throw it out there, like, is there anything else you guys want to do? I try to give you ample time to respond without having too much dead air, of course. And then whatever happens, happens, right? And for, as you said, it is something that has happened where everybody's like, no, we could just move on to the next scene, which is fine. If that's what you guys want, cool.
Well, as a GM myself, sometimes I find it helpful to just think up a scenario and shove a couple people into it to get them to interact.
That is definitely a tool that I have not really engaged a whole lot, and something I can definitely explain. Like, hey, here you go. You're stuck in this room now. Work out your problems. Or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, it just, here's the situation you're finding yourself in. Captain's not around. I know he usually does the talkie-talkie. How do, speaks in binaric Alterios and generally only talks about killing things Reinhardt,
especially orcs,
going to get here.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a way to go about it. Oh my god. Any other final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, that's kind of it. I did have a lot of fun tonight, though.
That's good. That's always the key thing, is even if you didn't get a whole lot of time, that you had a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I definitely enjoy this. I felt like I took a little bit longer than I wanted to putting this particular episode together, but I didn't script. Whenever I GM prep, I always prep longer as far as the overall story than just what's needed for a single episode. Because one thing I get worried about is like how much time I have available each weekend to do game, how much time it takes to do that said prep. So I like to do as like basically a large chunk as possible each time, so that way when it does come time for the next game prep, it's like, oh, let me just review my notes, make additions, take out things, make minor edits, basically. All right, cool. I got the next episode ready, and it didn't take 4 hours. It might take only an hour or two. But I did really enjoy this particular Segmentum's prep, and I have probably enough content left at the moment without refining much. I could probably do one more episode, maybe not quite a full episode, with what I have. But I know where I'm going, and I know what the next few steps are. Ooh, excuse me. But that said, I did enjoy it, even though it did take I think I spent like 2 or 3 hours putting things together. Possibly long, actually, because I think I spent like last Wednesday. Did we meet last Wednesday? No, maybe it was last Tuesday. Whatever it was, I spent a couple hours, like an hour to hour and a half one night, and then I worked on it again over the weekend. So I probably got like 3 to 4 hours of time put in as far as GM prep for this, of not just the outline for tonight, but a bunch of stuff in the background that will be added later. But I really did enjoy this because we are at a point where in the story we've done the basically securing the domain part of the major campaign. We're now moving into dealing with the major threat that caused the problems in the first place, and then after that will be the final 1 to 2 Segmentum. So really, we're looking at, this is Segmentum 6 that we're going to get through, and then we have 7 and 8 afterwards, and then that'll be the conclusion of the campaign.
All right.
So I don't know how many sessions that's going to be. Probably in the order of 10 to 15, depending on how long things take and how much we do. But grand scope, we're in the back half now. The back 9. There's some innuendos in there somewhere if you look for them. I'm not going to touch too much. But we're definitely on the back half of the story, which is a cool place to be, and I'm kind of excited to finally be here because now we're getting, not so much repetitive, but some of the same basic actions are being done again, or were being done again multiple times, but now we have a little bit more context to them so they don't feel the same as they were before. I don't know if we're going to go with like super revenge arc sort of things, or if we're just going to go in here and just be like, nope, this is mine now, fuck you.
Super revenge.
I'm down for either. I feel like we're going to be leaning towards the super revenge side of things. But either way, it's going to basically like, yeah, we're going to Alpha Hen Eddie. The Blues Brothers quote, and I can't think of it. We're on a mission for the God Emperor.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately doesn't fit as well as Dan Aykroyd saying we're on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
That said, let's get out of here because I'm rambling at this point. I'm definitely having a lot of fun with this story though, and I'm glad. Not because I'm glad we're getting towards the end. Not because I have not enjoyed my time, but I like the idea of the story coming to its culmination.
Mm-hmm.
So. That said, let's get out of here because that is a lot of rambling. Stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a crazy, grit, and dark place, especially in recent events that we're not going to go into. So make sure you do what you got to do to take care of you and yours. As for me and mine, we're out of here. We'll see you next time.
Auf Wiedersehen.